And I hope we are live. And my name is Ariel. Welcome to Dragon Tail Tarot. Tonight, we're going to be doing readings for all 12 of the zodiac signs. We're getting ready for the pink full moon. That would be the full moon of April 2023. It is so called the pink moon because of the pink flowers that usually start to bloom and come into their fruition during this time of year traditionally. So guys, it's been a long time. I hope y'all have been well. I have not been that well, and that is why it's been a long time. So, yeah, I've just got a lot of health things going on, and I've been trying to address them piece by piece. And one of them was asthma. I've really started to get that going better. But now I've got other things that I'm also dealing with. So when I know more, you'll know more and all that good stuff. And until then, or unless, I will be just getting in here whenever I have the time and the energy, both. So really looking forward to doing these reads tonight. Hey, Eric. Hey, Daisy, my love. Good to see you guys both. So we're going to just, we're going to go over the readings tonight. We're going to go Aries all the way through Pisces. I will be doing just a little bit of an astrology recap. We've had an incredible, tremendous amount of shifting and changing in just the past, really 2 to 3 weeks. We've had quite a lot going on. So let's go ahead and take a peek at that. Let's go ahead and review. So here's our April chart for the full moon. That full moon, of course, is going to be in the sign of Libra because that is our opposite to the sun moving through the sign of Aries currently. The sun going into Aries is always the time when spring arrives. Whenever the sun goes into Aries, that is the first sign of the zodiac. It is the beginning of the spring. And in a lot of ways, you could say that is really kind of, the beginning of the new year astrologically. It's absolutely an astrological new year beginning. So even if you feel like you haven't done a whole lot since the calendar new year, not to worry. The astrological new year just started 2 weeks ago. You always got plenty of time, and there's always rebirths in the offing. So that's definitely what that brings through. So currently we do have 2 planets moving through in the sign of Aries. That's going to be the sun and that's going to be Jupiter. Jupiter is the great benefactor. It is where we increase our energy. So whenever it is in a sign, we will feel an increase of that energy. Aries obviously is very feisty, very fiery, very impetuous. It does not always think before it acts. It tends to be very spontaneous. So for some of us, it's a good idea to kind of rein that in. And then, also by proxy, if you are not feeling, if you're feeling like maybe you're moving too fast, it's a good idea to learn from that because Jupiter is also a planet of great learning and education. This is also a time if you have a feeling that you should start learning something or taking a class. This is a great time to do it. Just take the leap of faith. Go ahead and do it. I have exciting news. Since I've been laying around and having to rest a lot, I joined Babbel and I've started taking Spanish classes. So that's my big class that I am starting to take, so that I can start communicating better with the Spanish-speaking friends and world that I'm a part of. And I'm also I love learning a new language, so it's super fun. So that's my manifestation of Jupiter and Aries. I said, I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I'm just going to jump right in and go ahead and do it. Yes, muy bien. Mucho gusto. Thank you, Daisy. Gracias. All right, so then the big stuff that's happened since we last saw each other is quite a bit. We have got Mars finally moving into a new sign, the sign of Cancer. And the reason that's a big deal, y'all, I'm gonna go into my book. I always use my little pocket planner. And I'm gonna tell you how long it's been since Mars has moved signs, and it's gonna freak you out. Okay, so Mars was in the sign of Gemini since last year, August 21st. And it stayed in Gemini almost over 7 months. So let's count. Yeah. So 1, because it was in a retrograde. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. Almost 7 years. Not 7. It felt like 7 years. 7 months. It felt like 7 years. Mars was in Gemini for 7 months, y'all. Unreal. And because of the retrograde, it made it extra frustrating because Mars is our planet of action, and when it's not moving forward, it gets really stuck. And I have felt that. I have felt so stuck, that stuck energy. So I think that slowly but surely, as Mars has entered a new sign, it is in Cancer right now. I would say, you know, most of our energy, you know, don't expect things to move too fast because Mars in Cancer is very moody. Because, you know, Mars is very active, Cancer is very moody. It's like, I want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. Oh, I think I do. Oh, I'm not sure. And it can really go back and play a lot of, you know, games with our moods. So keep in mind, you know, Cancer is also a very homebody sign. So your energy, you know, this next month ahead may be more dedicated to literally cleaning your metaphorical or literal house, right? Because it's a home sign. And I think then once you feel that, you know, once it's cleaned out and cleaned up and you've stabilized, you know, that moodiness a little bit more, you know, then Mars is going to move into the sign of Leo, and that's going to be, let's see, yeah, that will go into Leo on May 21st. So I would say, you know, right now until then, you know, now until May 21st, that's when Mars will be in Cancer. This is more of, you know, kind of like cleaning house time in a way, making sure you're healthy, making sure your moods are stable, making sure that you're feeling good inside and out. Kind of really getting that check on your subconscious, because Cancer energy is lunar energy. It's the subconscious. And when Mars is there, it puts a lot of action and effort there. So that's why we can end up with a lot of mood swings, maybe temper, you know, flaring, tears coming out in a bigger way than we have in a while. But then I think once Mars goes into Leo towards the end of May, it gets a lot more dynamic because Mars is well expressed in a fire sign, and it's the first time in quite a long time that it's been in a fire sign. So we really haven't had a whole lot of that, you know, spark and that enthusiasm that Mars in a fire sign brings us for a while. So I think that's when things will really start to feel better energetically. But I feel like right now, don't beat yourself up if you still need rest, if you still need to kind of clean your literal or metaphorical house, because that is what's happening. So the next thing that happened since we last talked was Saturn. Saturn made a big move out of Aquarius and into the sign of Pisces. This is a very interesting thing. Anytime Saturn makes a move, I'm always all about it because I am a Capricorn. It is my ruling planet. And a lot of people are going to tell you all the negatives about Saturn being in Pisces, but I think there's a lot of positives to Saturn and being in Pisces because, number one, Capricorn and Pisces make a nice alignment in astrology. They create what's called a sextile, which is an opportunistic aspect in astrology. And so it does feel very good. It's kind of like Pisces dreams it up and Capricorn manifests it. So I actually really like the combination of Saturn in Pisces because to me it is a combination that can really allow us to manifest our dreams, take those things that have just been floating around in our head as your, you know, ideas or fantasy and bring them into reality. It is also a time because Saturn is always the reality check, and it's going to come along and say, your dreams are great, but which one of them can you really get done, and which one of them do you just kind of need to let go and let it just be a dream, because that's not going to happen. It is very, you know, and it can be a bit harsh. Saturn is never super light and soft. It's harsh realities. So sometimes it is that feeling of, Saturn comes along with that eye of reality, looks at our Pisces dreams and says, okay, these are cool, but which one of them can you actually manifest and give tangible form and function to? Because if you can't, it's probably just wasting your energy and you gotta let it go. So that's, I think, a big part of it. I could also see where, Saturn is always about making things better. It's making things more efficient. It's clearing out the trash and the stuff that you no longer need in your life. And, Saturn, the scythe of Saturn, it cuts things out. And so when it comes to Pisces, it's going to cut things out that no longer serve you in that area, whether it's spirituality, right? Maybe your spiritual path will change or evolve, or you may cut it out altogether and say, I don't really want that right now. You may have epiphanies that kind of make you go, wow, I got all this dark stuff that I need to heal or I need to take care of, because Pisces deals with that subconscious, deals with the underworld, deals with anything that's inner. It's mystical, it's magical, it's the imagination. It is also mental illnesses, it is depression and all the things that can plague us emotionally. That's why many Pisces end up with addictions if they can't find healthy ways to cope with all that feeling. And it is sometimes, I could see for a lot of people, if they've struggled with addictions of any kind, Saturn in Pisces, that cycle could be very, very intense for like finally quitting something, finally letting go of that addictive crutch that they've been carrying around for a long time. So it's a really, I like it. I don't mind it. I think that Saturn in Pisces functions quite well. Saturn always functions well if we let it and we work on the things that it's addressing. And right now, for the next about 2.5 years, it's going to be addressing the realm of Pisces. So the next thing we're going to get into, which is probably the biggest one because it's going to be there the longest. Oh boy, here we go, guys. This is the big one. Pluto, there he is. Look at this. Look at this. 0 degrees, 0, Aquarius just went into the sign of Aquarius on March 23rd. It's the first time that Pluto has moved signs in about 14, 15-ish years. This is a big one. It's a big one. And it's going to be there a long time, so settle in. Pluto will be retrograding back into the last degree of Capricorn this year. It will stay there until next year in those last degrees of Capricorn. And then when it goes direct again, it will stay in Aquarius. So we're getting a little couple-month taste of Pluto in Aquarius. And it's going, once it settles in, it's going to be in Aquarius for 19 years. Ha! 19 years, y'all. If the revolution doesn't come during this time, I don't know when it will. So the fun thing too about this is that, Pluto is wrapping up its travels in Capricorn. And that was not an easy time because Capricorn, Saturn rulership. The thing is, I don't see this really getting a lot easier. People always want things to get easier. And I tell them, things aren't necessarily going to get easier. They're just going to be a little different. But this isn't easier because Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius as well, right? So this is also not light and fluffy energy, but Pluto is not light and fluffy anyway. It is the ruler of Scorpio, and it deals with anything revolutionary, anything that's a life and death rebirth cycle, transformations, deep, deep soul changes, revealing mysteries, uncovering corruption, all of that good stuff. And so when Pluto is in Aquarius, we are going to see transformations on a very revolutionary scope, right? I think a lot of movements and a lot of revolutions will rise and fall during the next 19, 20 years. We may be living in an entirely different kind of government, country, than we do right now by then. The thing about Aquarius is it always is focusing on our freedom and our truth and connecting all living things, right? That's the big 3 when it comes to Aquarius. And so anything that's not genuine, anything that's not true to yourself is not going to work, right? We have to be true to ourselves. We have to be ourselves. We cannot be fake. We can't be phony. We have to really listen to our true instincts and our true voice, our true intuitions. Um, this is also a very strong focus on freedom, whatever that means for you. Freedom from systems, freedom from anything that is corrupting. Aquarius fights against oppression. So if people are oppressed, if people are hurting, suffering, struggling, Aquarius is the sign that tends to return the power back to the people. It is the radical, it is the rebel of the zodiac, it is the unconventional genius that is very futuristic and always sees a better future than what is currently in place. So get ready for some wild times, because the last time that we had Pluto in Aquarius was about 250 years ago, and that's when we experienced the French Revolution, the Enlightenment. Those were not easy times. These were not easy times at all when Pluto was last in Aquarius. But sometimes, the chaos is for a reason. I always say, Aquarius is that sign that shakes up the snow globe, because it has to. It has to change things. It is definitely that beacon of change and transformation and moving us into the future. So it's going to be very interesting. Don't look for things to get better as in get normal, because they won't. Aquarius is definitely not the sign of normalcy. It is the sign of radical change and revolutions. It's I don't think we're ever going back to the old quote unquote normal, which was really just a small blip of relative prosperity and exploitation of natural resources. We're going forward into a very, very different time, where we're going to have to embrace radical changes and differences in order to make things work for the future, or they just won't work for us humans. That's where we're going. So it's time to embrace your true self, because that's the best way that we're all going to get ahead, as Pluto moves for the next 19 years in the sign of Aquarius. That's a big deal. In some ways, you could almost say that it's the further manifestation and crystallization, and bringing about the ideas that were percolating during the 14 years that Pluto was in Capricorn. So those are the things that are going on. It's been a wild ride. I've been feeling it. I know y'all been feeling it. I know we've all been going through a lot. And everybody that I stay in touch with from my channel has been telling me that too. So next thing I'm going to tell you before we start the readings, I am going to start doing a dragon book club of sorts. Of sorts, because you don't have to buy a book or follow along if you don't want to. I am going to be starting to read some different books on my channel, almost like an audio book. I'm just going to read a chapter at a time and dedicate a video to each chapter, in different books that I pick. A lot of people always ask me, tips on being an astrologer, getting better at astrology, and I have a lot of great books that I've read over the years that I think are super, super helpful and will save you a lot of time, because you won't be wasting time reading things that just aren't that great. I've read a lot of things that are really great and a lot of things that aren't that great, and I can help you not waste your time. So the first book that I think I'm going to be doing is the Jan Spiller book, Astrology for the Soul. I love this book on many levels. She is a great writer. She's been doing it for a long time. And this book is all about the North and the South lunar nodes and what they mean and how to use them in a reading, for yourself or for someone else. This is a great one. I love it. It's going to have 12 chapters for all 12 of the North and South nodes. And I'm just going to, take some time, and I'm just going to read through each chapter. And I might, put a little bit of my own commentary. I'm sure I will as I'm reading along. But if you want to read along with me, you can grab this book. Was it, Shauna? Do you love this one? It's so good, isn't it? If you've read it, you know how good it is. And not only is it fun for me to pass the info on and share things that I like with you guys, and but this is also a fun way for me, especially, it's always great to reread things, because it refreshes your own mind about things that you already know, and it helps you to reconnect with the information. So I'm looking forward to this. So if you get this, we'll dragon book club together. And then after this one, we'll do another one, because I've definitely got, I could never end with books that I have, because I really love them. So that's going to be the first one, is Astrology for the Soul by Jan Spiller. I may look online and find a link for that and just post it below in the description so that people can find it really easily. But it's not out of print, so it should be a pretty simple one for most to find. I'm going to try to avoid doing any of that, like out of print books. I don't want to do that to anyone because there's nothing worse than being like, oh yay, I want to read this book. Oh, I can't find it anywhere. Yeah, that's no fun. Or hey, I found it, but it's like $300, right? Because it's out of print. That doesn't work either. All right, my darlings, let's go ahead and start. These are going to be our happy full moon readings for you guys. So this again is the pink moon. This is the flower moon. Pink flowers moon. Libra full moon. It has a lot to do with partnership and love. And also your own identity, because it's Aries energy and Libra energy both involved. So we're going to start out with our Aries. Happy birthday to my Aries people. You are in the hot seat, Aries. It is your time of year. Jupiter is also in your sign right now, so you're definitely having extra energy, extra new beginnings, breaking through old boundaries. A lot of growth and expansion happening for Aries right now. Hey, Miss Sandy. Good to see you. My Aries lady. My Rams. All right, so the way that I do my lunar readings, guys, always for full moon, remember that these full moon cycles last about 30 days. So this reading will, be especially effective and active for the next 30 days. But of course, I always say whenever you see it is probably the right time for you to see it if you come across it at another time. So we're going to start with you, past, present, future, around what these lunar cycles are bringing to you. I am using the Moonology deck, the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and also the Moonology Manifestation deck. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite Tarot and the Modern Witch Tarot as well. Wow. Okay, yeah, the fire is definitely on your side here, Aries, my word. In the immediate past, we've got the full moon in Aries. So I feel like you've been actually kind of like getting ready for this full moon and for Aries season in general. A fiery climax approaches. So, the actual Aries full moon does happen 6 months from now when the sun is in Libra. So this could also say that the things that you've been working on in the immediate past, like say the last 30 days or so, you're actually, building up to something even bigger that may happen in the autumn, right? When the autumn begins, something that you're prepping over the next 6-7 months may start to really come into more solid focus. Let's get a little clarifier on that card and see what we've got on it. Yeah, definitely you're working on something, because look at that. We've got the Worm Moon, the Faith card, sitting on top of it. So, Aries, I feel like you've been percolating on something for a little while. You're growing an idea, birthing a project, dreaming about something that you'd really like to plant and see it grow. So don't give up, because I think the next 6 to 7 months is going to be actually really extra powerful for that. Right in the center, what's coming through with the full moon itself tonight is the full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. There's the Sagittarius energy. We just talked about your sign is where Jupiter is right now. And Jupiter is, the rulership of Sagittarius. So this is really, really strong right now. All for my Aries, looking at the bigger picture, seeing the bigger focus. Don't get too concentrated on what's right up in your face right now, because it's only temporary. You might feel trapped, you might feel stuck, you might feel like, like you're seeing, just the little details, but you're not seeing the big forward picture. So try to see with a broad perspective, big, broad, open eyes, because Sagittarius is kind of like You know, don't get too stuck in just one way of doing it or one way of seeing it. Don't get tunnel vision, right? Let's get a clarifier on this. Yes, right. This is interesting because I think with this, it shows your boundaries here. It's like you might have had old boundaries in the past that you're pushing beyond. Because I would say that, you know, with Sagittarius, Jupiter energy, which you're experiencing right now, Aries, you know, the boundaries are kind of coming down. Not in a bad way. You know, boundaries are good when we're keeping them up against toxic people or situations. But if those boundaries that you're imposing on yourself are keeping you from expanding and growing, then it's time to lower those walls. Going into the immediate future, the next 30 days, your commitment is being tested. Like I said, this is definitely a feeling like don't give up, because there is a definite sense that there is something or someone that's challenging to you through this cycle, right? It's kind of like you are digging in and growing and doing the work, even though it's been challenging, or there may feel like you're getting some pushback. So this is definitely that time, you know, over the next 30 days where you're kind of like, I'm like halfway there. Do I want to keep going or do I want to turn back? Let's get a clarifier on that card. Let's see what the cards say. You know, like this is really a personal choice. I would say don't give up because these cards around it look really good. And if it's just like one jerk that's bothering you, don't let them bother you. That's not worth it. Just one idiot. It's not worth throwing away what you really want to do. Yeah, the void. It's an open thing. I would say whatever you choose is not really wrong, right? You can write your own destiny on, you know, that empty chalkboard, that empty slate right there. You're very, very open. So I think for most of you, it's definitely a don't give up feeling to me. But for some of you, it might be like, well, if I give up, there's this other thing over here that seems even better or more full of potential. And if you're in that situation, it may not be wrong. And in that case, it's not giving up. It's just, you know, changing course, right? So that's what I'd say for it, Aries. Let's get a little tarot on this read. And let's deepen this message for you and see what comes out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Aries. Yeah, I feel like you've had a lot of disappointments in the past. I do. I feel like some things have really not worked the way you've wanted them to with plans or people or situations. Not everything has collapsed, right? It's like some of it hasn't worked, some of it has. So the real challenge is to focus on the things that are still good, that are still working, and do your best to let go of the things that didn't work or didn't turn out the way you'd hoped. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's, oh, there's the death card. Aries, wow, that's strong. So yeah, it's definitely time to let go of the cups that have been knocked over, things that didn't turn out, but the sun is rising in the distance. There is a rebirth coming, and you still have the two standing. So focus on the things that have worked, the things that will work, and try to let go of the things that have not. You're definitely in a time, just like a lot of us are, of shaking loose the dust, letting go of some things, releasing, because the hangman is all about release. Has a lot to do with releasing things that are, you know, old ideas, old attitudes, old energies. You're getting to a better place, but it does require letting go of some things first, which doesn't always feel the greatest. Let's get a clarifier on the Hanged Man. And look at that. You've got the Sun card. So I really do feel, you know, on the whole, this is a very positive read, because I feel like what you're letting go of is in exchange for something so much happier and better for you. In the immediate future, Like we had that void card and the commitment being tested. There it is, the King of Pentacles, that Taurus energy. You might be dealing with a Taurus or an earth sign, a Capricorn, a Virgo, somebody that's, you know, kind of stubborn and they have their one way. Maybe they're quite successful, so they feel like they can kind of tell you how to do it, even if that's not the best way for you. They think, well, my way is the best because it worked. And you're like, well, just because it worked for you doesn't mean it's best for me. You know, and this could also be you becoming that King of Pentacles. You are learning the best way to create stability and prosperity for yourself. So you might be doing a little fancy footwork with someone. You might. Wheel of Fortune says it's gonna be okay, right? You know, this is definitely, again, your boundaries and your borders opening wider, the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, things starting to move after a lot of feeling stuck and stagnant. And Aries, you are ruled by Mars. We just talked about, you know, Mars in the astrology right now. Mars was in Gemini and in a retrograde cycle during that since last August. It had not changed signs for that long. It's finally moving forward in Cancer, which is still not the greatest for you all because Cancer is a square to Aries. It's not the greatest like flow of energy. So by May 21st, when Mars, your ruling planet, goes into Leo, which is a fellow fire sign, you're gonna start feeling a lot better. It's like a lot of the energy that you felt like you just didn't have is gonna start returning. But let me tell you, you have not been an easy pattern. It's not been an easy pattern for anyone, but you're feeling it probably the most. You and Gemini, woo, you're both feeling it because, you know, that's your ruling planet. And when it gets kind of stalled out in a sign, it's like, can we go? Can we go? And Aries loves to go. And when they're stuck, they don't like it. So hang in there, Aries. It is shifting, it is turning. It's just been taking a damn long time. So let's get a last card as a affirmation for you. What this full moon read summarizes. Oh yeah, look at that. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. So there's, again, it reminds me of the death card that you had in there. It's that final release. Reveal what needs to be seen. See it, deal with it, let it go. There it is. Let it just flow into the water, Aries. It's all gonna be okay. Yeah, but you gotta, I feel like the next, you know, month and a half is like release, you know, review and release. Start to clean things up and start to oil the wheels because they are going to be moving. Things are going to start coming out of stagnation for you. And we all like to see things come out of stagnation because it's it's not fun. All right, darlings, let's get into Taurus next. Let me get some water here. Oh, man. So all my Taurus folks, I hope you are doing great. This is going to be your full moon reading for the pink moon of April 2023. These full moon readings last about 30 days or so, but I always say that they are fine for whenever you see them. It's probably meant to be that time. So these are going to be a past, present, future layout. We're using a couple of lunar oracle decks and the tarot to get your messages today. Very nice. Yeah, the Aries full moon is a big deal. It is. It's a, yeah. Well, the Libra full moon, I should say, but it's in the Aries season because it's our first full moon of the new astrological year. So in the immediate past, coming from a really good place of strength here, Taurus, prosperity lies ahead, the new moon in Taurus. So, you know, in the last 30 days or so, you may have been, you know, coming up with new plans, new ideas, maybe racking your brain a little bit to think of good new ways to bring in more money, more prosperity, more financial resources. And that's a very positive card indeed to see in your reading, especially because it is your sign. So let's get a clarifier on him. And we have release. So yeah, I would say that for a lot of folks, not just Taurus, You know, worries about money, worries about prosperity have definitely been a thing. And I would say that it's time, if you can, I know it's easier said than done, but the more that you can release those worries or anxieties or tension about that, the better, because this is a very positive message that things are in the future, things are going to improve. But right now, it's you've got to release the tension because that makes it a lot harder for the energetic flow to happen. Right in the center, what's coming in during the full moon in Libra is show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So Taurus, you know, we just entered the time of Pluto in Aquarius, and that is definitely a sign that's all about being your true self, not holding back, not changing who you are on some fundamental level just to please others. So it's definitely a time with this full moon coming in here on April 6th, that's the day it comes in, is that you will be showing the world who you truly are, your true gifts, your true talents. You won't be dimming your shine for anybody. And that is a beautiful, beautiful energy to carry through to the month of May. Yes. And I think that from that new perspective, you will be assessing things, you know, from a fresh new pair of eyes. I almost feel like, you know, there's a sense that you're letting go of some things that either just weren't true to who you were, Taurus, or you are feeling like you're seeing things for the first time. And it's like, oh, wow. So if I embrace who I really am, I can actually go a lot further, or I can do things that I didn't think I could do in the past. So this is very interesting. It's like you're reassessing things from that fresh way of being. Going into the immediate future over the next 30 days, what you're going to have playing out is the full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. So I think it's fresh new beginnings, and this will be leading you into May, which is your Taurus season. So, you know, Taurus, you're the next one up. Your sign starts in full swing. I believe it's going to be April 22nd, April 21st is usually when the sun shifts into Taurus. And so that is really exciting because I feel like it's giving you this new burst of energy, this new burst of excitement, enthusiasm as you go forward into your birthday month. And action. Wow. So, ooh, Taurus, you are definitely looking at some action, some movement, some things coming out of stagnation as we reach the end of this particular lunar cycle. So, you know, our next full moon will be the first week of May. And I think that that's going to trigger a huge time of action and movement. If you have just been feeling stuck in the mud and feeling like nothing is working, wow, the combination of Aries and the action card together, and Aries is all about action. My goodness, yeah, you're gonna feel a lot of get up and go. You're gonna feel a fire lit under you as we head into Taurus season. All right, guys, let's get into a little bit of tarot. We're just gonna deepen your reading. And the same layout, past, present, future. Yeah, no, ooh, wow. Guys, this is beautiful. All right, I'm going to clarify these cards too because, wow, this is very nice. Big manifesting energy, Taurus. Oh my word. Okay, so in that immediate past with the prosperity card and the release, we have the 10 of Cups and the Magician. So I do feel you've been manifesting a lot of your own personal happiness. And I feel like even if you're sharing it with other people, nobody really gave it to you. You're the one. You're the one that manifested this magic. You were the alchemist behind whatever happiness, prosperity, fulfillment you experience now or in the future, because the magician is all about bringing all its gifts and abilities together and getting it done, right? Yeah, it's kind of like nobody else can really take the credit for it, even if they're contributing to it, even if you're sharing your happiness with them. Like you're the catalyst here. In this immediate present, as the full moon arrives, look at that, 10 of Swords with the Star card. The 10 of Swords is a tough card. We have two tens. We have 10 of Cups and 10 of Swords. And so to me, you know, the most positive thing about the 10 of Swords is that, yeah, you went through hell, but hell is over. Like, you've gotten to the end of the tunnel and you are feeling a lot better, because this is that feeling of just really being stabbed in the back, really treated badly. And I feel like, you know, that cycle is at an end. And the Star card is ultimate hope, faith, and renewal. It's Aquarius energy, which you have a lot of in this immediate present. Look at this, because you had that Aquarius card right there. Aquarius energy, where it's like you're showing the world the true you. This could symbolically, for some of you, mean that you are letting the fake self die, that you are letting the person you really weren't, that you maybe felt like you had to be to please others. You're letting that go and letting your true self shine forth. It could also mean that you have realized who your true friends are, and you have let go of the betrayers, the liars, the cheats, the people that just aren't good for you. And now you're coming into a place where you're like, yeah, I was right to trust my instincts and my intuition, and I'm feeling a lot better about the future. Here we go. Like I said, lots of action in that future position for you. But you also do need to balance it with rest, Taurus. We have this Four of Swords. So, you know, I know that you're going to want to just go, 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 but this is telling you that it is good to have times to get some rest too. So definitely balance that. And you have the Empress, one of your power cards, coming in there. So it's kind of telling you, if you make sure to get extra rest as well as times of action, you're going to create and manifest on an even bigger and better level. This is a great reading. I love it, Taurus. I appreciate you guys so much. I know you've been through a lot. I know Taurus has been through a lot. From my talks with Taurians, it's just, yeah, I know it has been a whole slog. Let's get a manifester card on this. Let's wrap this reading up for you. You have so much Aquarius power coming through here, Taurus. Wow, look at this. New moon in Aquarius. Open up to change. You had the full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. The Star card, the power card of Aquarius. So this is definitely about shaking it up, changing it up, being true to yourself, letting go of people that are not genuine or genuine with you. Wow. Strong reading. Be open to the changes coming through for you, Taurus. I know Taurus doesn't always like to change because you're very earthy and very grounded. You're like us Capricorns. You don't like to always change, but this is encouraging really positive changes. All right, Gemini. Gemmy Gems. I've had so many Gemini people coming into my life and out of my life and all over the place. The Geminis are everywhere. Not just Geminis, but like Gemini moons, Gemini Venus. Lots of people with Gemini placements showing up. So I don't know what's up with gems, but y'all are y'all are everywhere. Okay, Gemini, let's see what we have got for you guys. I hope y'all have been doing well. This is going to be your full moon reading for the full moon of April. That will be with us on April 6th in just 2 more days. And this is the full moon in Libra. So this is actually a good full moon for you guys. You know, this is a fellow air sign. See, look at all my folks in the chat. They're like, hey, I'm a Gemini moon. Hey. A lot of Geminis, I'm telling you. There's so many of them. They love to talk. I think they love to communicate. They love to share ideas. And they have a lot of fun doing it. So I think that's a big reason for that. So let's see what we have got. This is going to be a past, present, future layout. And we're going to see what we have got for you over this full moon cycle. Very exciting. The first full moon of our new astrological year. Because the new astrological year starts with the sun in Aries, our first sign. Wow. Very nice. I like these cards. I like these cards that are coming up. All right, so immediate past, the last 30 days, Gemini. Y'all been releasing a lot. I know my Geminis have been going through some hard times. I know, because I like I said, I've been meeting a lot of y'all out there, and yeah, it hasn't been the easiest. So I think that this is really time to release negative situations, circumstances, and people. Um, any kind of negative feeling, because the things that you've been through might have you kind of feeling like, oh my God, I can't trust anybody. Oh my God, I'm not safe anywhere. It's been driving y'all crazy a little bit. So, it's also been making you confront those really heavier aspects of yourself, because Scorpio is deep, right? It's deep, it goes in intense. So it's definitely this last month or so, maybe even a little beyond that, like it's time to kind of shake that out, because it's been heavy and it's been a lot and it's been intense, and it might have triggered some deeper psychological emotions and feelings. Could have been things that have happened that have really brought some things up to the surface that you've had to heal and release. So let's get a clarifier on that for you. Yeah, you've had to have a lot of patience with yourself and with others. You've definitely been going through some sort of a tunnel to get to the end of that dark night of the soul. I don't think you've lost all your hope and faith. You're still holding that bright red balloon, it's keeping you afloat. But it's definitely been a tunnel. It's definitely been a tunnel. Oh, hey, everybody. Hey, Cindy. Hey there, Rose Blue. Good to see ya. All right, so right in the center, Gemini, what's coming in for you with the full moon on April 6th? Luck is on your side. The new moon in Sagittarius, which is your opposite sign. So there's that counterbalance, which makes me feel like you are balancing out. New cycles coming in, because it is a new moon card. And of course, Sagittarius has that luck. It's Jupiter energy. Right now, Jupiter is in a sextile aspect to your sign, just like the sun. And that's a very good placement for it to be. So look for the new opportunities. Look for an opening up of possibilities. It's going to be a lot easier if you are open-minded and flexible. So let's get into a clarifier on this as well. Yeah, sovereignty. I do think you're coming back into stability, coming back into a sense of kind of, having your world in a little bit better order. So that is a really beautiful feeling for you guys, definitely. Going into the immediate future, what's playing out over the next 30 days as this full moon shifts out, it is a new romantic cycle begins with the new moon in Libra. So the other thing that I would say, Gemini, for those of you who have been in a relationship and maybe it hasn't been so easy, you may be healing that quite a bit. You may be seeking counseling, because Libra energy is very much about counseling. For those of you that you feel it's irrevocably broken, you might be seeking, a divorce or legal separation, because Libra is also the law. But for those of you that are super single Geminis, or maybe just dating and you haven't really settled on any one person, this could be saying that something is getting a little more serious, or you're meeting somebody that feels really good to be around. Could be a Libra. This is a Libra full moon that we're sitting in. Let's get a clarifier on this one. Let's see a little bit more about this card for our Geminis. Yes, and I feel like, oh, Gemini, a lot of you have been alone for a while, or you've been in a relationship where you felt very alone for a while because of that darkness card. That's that long night's moon of December. So yeah, it's, ooh, yeah. But look how cute that little bunny is. And bunnies are very social. If you see a bunny alone, they won't stay alone for long. That's for sure, right? So keep hopping. Keep hopping, Gemini. I know you will. I know you will. Let's get into some tarot, folks. We're just going to deepen these messages up for you, Gemini. Same layout, past, present, future. See a little bit more about what this full moon means for you, what is developing in your life. A lot of manifesting and a lot of empowerment. That's what this feels like, yeah. So let me go ahead and clarify these. I feel like this particular full moon is bringing something very full circle for you, Gemini. It's bringing something super full circle. Like one door is really closing and another one is very solidly opening. Because something's changing up here. So in the immediate past, with the Scorpio energy and the patience, right, what you've been working through, I do feel like you've really worked through some emotional work. And you've really been coming into a more solid feeling of being able to deal with your emotions a lot better. You feel a lot more emotionally mature and more settled. And even if things still rile you sometimes with that Knight of Wands, right? It's like you're a lot more patient with yourself and others now than you have been in the past. That center column, this is why I feel like this particular full moon is bringing in just a lot of power for you. Look at that. We've got that new moon in Sagittarius. We've got the sovereignty card. Look at this, the world, right? The world and the sovereignty to me go hand in hand, because this is like full circle. You feel like you've stepped into your power. You've made it past some kind of major test or hurdle. And then on top of that, we had the Temperance card, more Sagittarius energy. So I feel like you've really learned something or are learning something. You're moving forward. A lot of your boundaries, a lot of things that kept you held in are falling down, which is very nice. With that new romantic cycle beginning, on top of that, we have the Queen of Wands and the Four of Swords. Four of Swords, interesting because, you know, we had that card come out in the future position for Taurus as well. And I think that it's kind of letting us know that it's like, even though the next month is going to definitely feel more energetic and more powerful, like it's really still important for you to rest and take time out for yourself. So, you know, Queen of Wands is Leo energy. To me, that's just feeling more empowered, feeling more beautiful, feeling more magical, which may be something that, you know, change up of a relationship or a shift in a relationship can definitely do that to us, right? If we're leaving somebody, it can make us feel more empowered and make us feel like, yes, you know, I did what was right for me. You know, if we meet somebody new and it sparks that fire in us again, it's like, wow, you know, hey, I still got it. There's a lot of things that those relationship dynamics and changes can do for us. Let's get a manifesting card on this for you, Gemini. Full moon in Taurus. It's detoxify. Oh my goodness, that is so funny because I can feel that. I can feel that release. We talked about that in the beginning. Gemini, you had that Scorpio card come out. It was like you're letting go of some things. So this could be a big month of self-care, taking good care of yourself, eating good foods, eating the right things, you know. Yeah, I would be good to yourself. I don't see this as any sort of like you're gonna have bad health kind of read. Not at all. But you're gonna feel a lot better if you just take a little extra care of yourself. Be nice to you. For sure. That's important. Because you've gone through a lot of changes. All right. Cancer. Cancer. Oh my gosh, Cancer. I gotta tell you about this crab. I'm not kidding. There's this crab. And she's on YouTube and Instagram and probably everywhere. It's called Howie the Crab. And it's a blue crab. Adorable. And this lady has this crab as a pet for the last 8 years. Which is just amazing. And when they got the crab, her daughter had just lost her fish. Like she had a pet fish and the fish had died and she was sad. She's like, I need a new pet. And so they're like, yeah, let's go to the store and get a new pet. And she picked out a crab to replace the fish. And so they didn't know if the crab was female or male, so they named the crab Howie. And they found out later the crab was a lady crab, and they were like, well, we'll still keep her name is still Howie. So they've had this crab. You can find her on YouTube, Howie the crab. It is hilarious. And the funniest thing is, so crabs molt their shells. I've learned so many things about crabs. They molt their shells every once in a while, and it's difficult for them. It puts them through a lot when they replace their whole shell, right? And so this crab, like normally this variety of crab in the wild would live maybe 3 to 5 years, and in captivity they can live up to 8 years, and this crab is 8 years old. And so this lady, she's like all emotional because she has no idea how much longer her crab is going to live, even and she's like, she's lived this great long life. She's like, but I just don't know how much longer she really has. And it got me crying. I was like tearing up over this story of this crab. I was like, oh, poor little crab. But then I'm like, no, it's not a poor little crab. That little gal has had a good long life. She's had that lady gives this crab everything that they want to eat. Like, this crab gets it all: fruit, veggies, meats, cheese. You know, the crab eats it all because they're bottom feeders. They'll eat pretty much anything that comes their way. So this crab has been living the life of the galloping gourmet and has lived to the max, you know, time that they can live, and, you know, more that's just like gravy. So check out Howie the crab for my cancers. It's a story that got to my heart. It was adorable. This crab is so cute. So that's your crab story for the full moon. So Cancer, this is your full moon reading. It's the full moon in Libra. Full moons especially are special for Cancer because you are ruled by the moon. And so this is going to show us a past, present, future layout. We'll be using both Moon Oracle and tarot cards to get your messages. Full moons last, you know, energy lasts about 28 to 30 days. So from full moon to full moon, you'll mostly be feeling these messages. So let's see what we have got for our Cancers, please. Wow, okay, Cancer. So Gemini energy coming through very strong for you in this initial lineup. Immediate past, new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than to take. So Cancer, if over the last month or so you've been really kind of giving away whatever it is, whether it's giving away resources, time, energy, you know, doing something charitable for someone, the better you are feeling about yourself, for sure. I would also say that with Virgo energy, it's a health conscious card. So you might have also been giving up bad habits. You might have given up smoking or given up eating, you know, bad foods or as much snacks or too much sugar or something like that, because Virgo is very much about, you know, taking good care of its health. Let's get a clarifier on this. Wow, all that green. I'm loving it. So I actually feel, you know, in some ways, Cancer, that this last month or so, because this is Virgo energy, this is Taurus energy, this is the flowering moon, that's the full moon of May. So this is the full moon next month. I feel like anything that you've been doing to improve or increase your health has also improved and increased your personal abundance and happiness, and it's giving you a lot more stability than you had in the past. Whatever you've let go of, well, you know, like especially things that, you know, you've done for people that are helpful or good, it's gonna like come back to you in big ways. So going into the full moon's energy as it arrives April 6th and beyond is the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So if you have those burning questions or you've been waiting to hear from somebody, those are probably on their way. People will be spilling the tea. People will be telling you what you've been wanting to hear. Even if it's not the answer you wanted, it will be the answer you needed, right? So even if it's not the greatest news, it will at least give you closure. And in some cases, of course, the news could be very good as well. Take it with a grain of salt here. Attraction, yeah, you'll definitely be attracting communication and people that will be very forthright with you. Lots of talking, and I would say that, there's nothing wrong with kind of getting out and about during this full moon period, Cancer. You might attract really awesome people to share ideas and thoughts with. They may be, they may be very beneficial for you in the long run. Going into the, third card here, this is wild. You've got two Gemini cards coming out, both of them. The new moon in Gemini, communication is key. So I feel like, for this full moon, if you're not usually somebody that talks a lot to people, you need to get out there and talk and communicate and tell people things and let them tell you things. Because this not only it triggers you for right now, for the full moon right now, but this is like 30 days in advance. This is the future position as well. So definitely communication is key, Cancer. I know a lot of times you like to hang out and hide away in your little Cancer shell, but this is definitely time to come out of the shell just a little bit and get going. Let's see what we have. Let's get a clarifier on this one. Yes, and it's all, see, the more that you talk, the more fun that it becomes. So you might start out like, oh, I don't really like talking to people. It's not fun. But then when you actually start doing it and you meet like-minded people, it's like, hey, this actually is fun. This is enjoyable, right? The pleasure card is there. So let's throw some tarot on this for you, Cancer. Let's see what we have got. I always do some tarot. This is going to be in the same layout, past, present, and future, to give you a little bit more depth to your message. And then we're going to just do a little clarifier with a second tarot deck on that real quick to give even more. But I love this past position, Cancer. I feel like you've really been doing some good work, even if it's been kind of behind the scenes. I feel like you've literally or metaphorically been planting a lot of stuff, a lot of goodies. Very, very positive for you. So in that immediate past, on top of the flower moon and the Virgo new moon, we have the Empress card. And that is, to me, she's like the queen of all queens. She's like the combination of all the queens, right? She's very strong Taurus and very strong Libra energy, and we are in that Libra full moon energy right now, and we have the Five of Wands. So I feel like, for you, Cancer, it's not been without its share of struggles and back and forth and frustration. You may be feeling like as well you've been practicing a lot too, because our Five of Wands shows them doing like a practice fight. It's like they're choreographing, they're figuring it out. And as a result, there might be some frustrations, there might be some delays, there might be tempers flare once in a while, right? But ultimately, it's like you're putting something into practice. And I feel like what that is you just feeling more stable, you being a master manifester, you just feeling better about yourself, right? That to me just all sinks in with this read. Right in the center in the present, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Lovers. Wow. So much Gemini energy in the Cancer reading tonight, because the Lovers is the power card of Gemini. And then you had both of the Gemini cards from the Moonology deck. So, oh my goodness, it's definitely time to talk and share. And Cancer, like I said, sometimes you might feel like, oh, I don't really want to go out and talk to people. But then once you do, you're glad you did, right? That's totally what I'm feeling about this. I understand. I'm a Capricorn. We're the opposite of Cancer. We have a lot in common. Like, we can be so cagey, like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to spend money. But then we do, and we're like, I'm so glad I went out. So, how it goes. Into the immediate future, look at this over the next 30 days. So you're having fun talking to people. Things start to get put more deeply into motion. Eight of Wands. Cancer, I feel like if you're looking for those love connections, friendship connections, connections in general that just make you feel happier and give you more energy, Eight of Wands is definitely on your side, and we've got this Moon card. So you might be connecting with other Cancers, maybe with Pisces, because that's a fellow water sign. But I feel like, you're definitely using your intuition about who's good to talk to, who's good to connect with. Like, you're not just running around like an idiot, like just talking to any old person. Like, you're using that Cancer intuition to kind of go, I know which one, or maybe I've seen something like that before. I'm going to avoid that one and gravitate to this one over here instead. I like this read, but it's definitely a talky. Lots of Gemini energy coming out here for you, Cancer. Was it, I just called to say I love you instead of pick up the phone. All right, manifestation card. Let's wrap this one up for my Cancer folks. Look at that. Yes, be real. Be you, right? Oh my goodness. The full moon in Aquarius energy is your affirmation. So be real, be genuine, be unique. Pluto just went into Aquarius. This is definitely the time where that pays off more than ever. So, always be true to yourself. Cancer, that's where it's at. And when you are, those right people, they will be in your life. And is that my moon child that I see out there? Where have you been, little goat? A little honorary goat. Baby goat. Where have you been? You know your Capricorn's going to give you a little talking to when you just disappear on us, Missy. We missing you, hon. We're really been missing you. Course. I thought about you. I actually did think about her just the other week. I was like, wonder if Moonchild's ever coming back. Like, I hadn't thought about for a minute because I've not been doing I haven't been doing much on my channel at all. And wow, so you found Sasquatch, Moonchild? Wow, you have been busy. I knew it had to be something epic. So yeah, but no, I've not been well. I've just not been well, y'all. Like, I had a lot of colds and respiratory crap, and I figured out I had asthma, and that's what was making all that a lot worse. And so, yeah, no, I've been going through it. I also might have fibromyalgia. That's the other thing that I might have, and I'm really hoping I don't, but I've got a lot of the symptoms: extreme fatigue, muscle soreness, things like that. And I'm gonna get some tests and get it checked for sure. My sister has it, and it can be running families, so we'll see. But yeah, it's been a whole struggle, honeys. It's been just some days so hard just to get out of the bed. Bed feels so good. So I'm pulling. We know us goats. We're tough, but it has been hard. It's been hard, no doubt. Yeah, so I have not been on the channel much, and today was one of those days where I'm like, I slept really good, so I woke up feeling better, but then I also had that feeling like I could just go back to sleep. I'm like, but I do have some energy, so I should just get on my channel. I just felt it. Just felt it was time to get in here, so I did it. And it's keeping me awake, so that's good. Yeah. But yeah, the tiredness has been off the hook. It's been really like, whew, because it takes so much sleep just to have a little energy. And then usually when I have a little energy, I work because I have an eBay store, and that's where most of my money comes from. And so, I'll work a little bit and then have to sleep some more. But I'm working on it. I have, I have good habits. I have good diet. So, I have a better way of coping with it than most probably, but I just got to get it. I got to get it actually diagnosed. I've just got my suspicions right now. Oh, good. Good. I'm really glad to hear it, Moonchild. There's been so much change. There's been so much change, sweetheart. I don't know if you're on Instagram. I finally got drug onto there kicking and screaming, I guess about a year ago maybe. So I am finally on there. It's same as my channel, Dragon Tail Tarot. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Angela. I miss y'all too. I really do. My little strawberry rhubarb. I love y'all. All my folks. All right, Leo. Yeah, let's fire it up. Let's fire it up. We need some Leo fire. I swear, it's been a minute since we've had some planets being in Leo, and I'm kind of ready for it. May 21st, the planet Mars will go into Leo, so that's going to be the next time we have a real good boost of Leo power. You know, it's been a long time since Mars has been in a good fire sign like that, and I think it's going to actually kind of kick off a lot of these old cobwebs. I really do feel it. So Leo, this is going to be your full moon reading for April 2023. This is the full moon of April 6th. That is our pink moon. And we're going to do a past, present, future layout for you to see what is coming up for you guys. What kind of energies you can expect as this full moon in Libra arrives. Sun is in Aries, so the moon is always in the opposite sign, so it is in the Libra station. It's our first full moon of the astrological new year since the sun went into Aries. And it is also a very relationship-based kind of moon energy because it is Libra and does deal with partnerships of all kinds. So let's see what we've got, please, for our lions and lionesses out there. Whoa, okay, Leo, you're feeling the Aquarius energies. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah. And you know, Pluto just went into Aquarius, so Leo, especially my early degree Leos, those are born earlier into the sign Leo, you're really going to be feeling that Pluto vibe. Oh my goodness. In the immediate last 30 days, since our last full moon, we had bring more love into the situation with the new moon in Aquarius. So to me, this is just being more loving towards yourself and others. New fresh start, new ideas, maybe a little new energy. Aquarius to me is very electric. You know, so you may feel like you've been waking up a little bit or something has been vibrating a little different. Let's get a clarifier on this card for you. This to me also, Leo, you know, you're a very creative sign, and I think Aquarius is as well by proxy, you know, and I think that this could also bring new love for something that you like to do, and maybe you're not beating up as hard on yourself, not being as harsh of a critic to yourself. I really also feel a lot of empowerment coming from this. Like you're feeling, you know, better about yourself because we've got this sovereignty card over here. You know, it's very royal, very regal looking. To me, Leo is a very royal kind of sign, and it just makes me feel that this last 30 days, you know, you've really been building yourself up in a better, more positive direction. In the immediate present, with the full moon in Libra coming in on April 6th, we have got the full moon in Aquarius. So both of the Aquarius cards came out of this deck for you. Side by side, show the world the real you. Leo, don't be afraid to be yourself, right? That's the true empowerment that Pluto in Aquarius does bring through. It is absolutely about having the freedom and the liberation to be our unique and authentic self. Listen to your intuition. Don't second guess it. Don't let people tell you how to be or what to be. Aquarius is definitely a sign that deviates from the crowd. It doesn't walk to the beat of other people's drums. It walks to the beat of its own. Let's get a clarifier on this one for you guys. And yes, fruition, because to me, Leo, I feel like even if you've struggled for a long time with insecurity or a lack of self-confidence, I feel like you've shed a lot of that off recently, and it's kind of like you're coming into this fullness of who you are and what you can be in the world. And maybe realizing that even if other people don't like you for who you are, it doesn't matter, because the right people will like you for who you are. That's always true. And I know that Leos, they're such a friendly, warm sign. They kind of want everyone to like them. And the truth is, not everybody is going to like us. It's just kind of the way that goes. And this is really empowering when you go, you know what? And that's okay. That's really okay. Going into the future, the energy is gaining momentum with the waxing moon. That's always building up more energy, more positivity, more energy. So I like that that's going in a positive direction for this month ahead. Let's get a clarifier on this. Yeah, really just don't stop. Don't stop, Leo. Look at that. You are definitely doing the self-reflection, looking at your inner self, your subconscious needs, wants, and desires, with, coupling it with what you need or feel on the outside and how you express that. You may be doing, continuing counseling or starting some kind of counseling or journaling, something that helps you to reflect a little bit more on who you are. Yeah, very nice. So let's get into some tarot here. We're just going to deepen these messages up for you. Same layout with these, past, present, future, right on top of these moon cards that we just laid down. Very nice. A lot of clarity. Oh, yeah, a lot of blessings. In the immediate past here, Leo, on top of that sovereignty card, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel like something's come out of stagnation for you. Things are moving forward. It's not staying the same as it was. Like I said, keep in mind, Mars just went into Cancer after 7 months in the sign of Gemini. It got stalled out in that sign for a long time because of the retrogrades. But May 21st is when, Mars will move into your sign. You're going to definitely feel the shift, because that means it'll get out of your universal 12th house, which can be kind of sleepy and kind of dreamy, and it'll go into a place of much greater activity and movement for you. Doesn't mean that things won't happen until then, but I think you're going to experience a greater shift. Yeah, things have been moving forward in your favor. I feel like, maybe some of you have either gotten a new job or looking at a new job, maybe some kind of work or effort or investment you put in of time, money, etc. is starting to pay off. Depends on your particular situation, but it feels very positive. Again, look at that. Right in the center with the full moon coming in, we've got the Queen of Cups. To me, she's very discerning about who she lets into her world. And so I feel like, Leo, you've really learned who you can let in and who you should just keep out, right? You don't have to include everyone, even if you feel like you should. You can be careful about who you choose to love, who you choose, to give greater access to your heart. It's very much a choice. You can say no. You can put your foot down. Favorite Capricorn word is no. You can say it too. And we have the Lovers. So Leo, oh my goodness, yes. You may be so much more picky about your friends and romantic potential partners going forward in the future. I think that's great. Just because they're cute doesn't mean they're good for you. That's always the way it works, right? And so that's beautiful. I do feel like you're putting that very much into practice. And, to me, the Queen of Cups is a queen that feels very at ease with her own emotions and what's right for her. So I feel like you're really acting on what is right for you. Going into the future, energy's gaining momentum. You're doing that self-reflection, and look at the clarity that comes through here. Look at the victory and success. Ace of Swords to me is always cuts through that fog. It cuts through that mist, pierces the veil. You're able to finally see the truth of the matter. You're able to think more clearly, perceive things the way they truly are. This is a great reading for you, Leos. Aries season is good for you guys too. It just is. It's a good thing for y'all because it's one of your fire trines. So on top of that, look at that. We have got the King of Cups, yes. And so to me, when you bring up both the King and Queen, there is that beautiful power dynamic. You know, if you are attracting a new person into your life, they could be a very good match for you. But, you know, to me, this just speaks even stronger to the fact that you're getting so much more comfortable and mature in your emotions. Like you're really able to sit with your feelings and not let them overwhelm you. You're able to be very, you know, patient and objective about your feelings. Look what's on the bottom, though. I just had to point this out. I haven't done this for any of the other signs, Leo, but look at that. On the bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups and Ten of Cups. It doesn't get a whole lot nicer. This is just huge blessings, huge feelings of peace, you know, that I think you haven't had in a while. So I feel it really feels good. Let's get into an affirmation for you. Yes, yes. I like this. Look at this. Full moon in Capricorn for you, Leo. Take the reality check. And I think that, you know, with Capricorn energy here, it's really saying, yeah, it is okay to say no. Like I told you, I said, I'm a Capricorn. We like to say no. We like to put our foot down. If something's not good for us, we don't really have a problem just going, no, 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 no. And Leo, it's fine for you to say no. I know you want to say yes to everybody because you're everybody's friend and you're the sun and you glow, but it's totally cool to say no to people. Don't even worry about it. This is really keeping those boundaries in check. And the reality check, again, like I said, just because somebody seems nice doesn't mean they're for you. So if the vibe check does not pass, let them go. Let them go, Leo. I know they might be cute and shiny. Just let it go. This was a great read. Oh my goodness, it was so good. Leo was a happy reading. They need a happy reading. They're gonna be transforming a lot because of the Pluto in Aquarius opposite their sign. They'll be transforming a good bit. Take it from me. Oh my gosh. Well, that was the other. Where's the coin at though? Right? Can't have it all at once, Moonchild. It's like, I want it all. Oh my goodness. Never satisfied. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, that's another big thing that was happening, that has been happening to me, has been freaking Pluto, like, sitting on my butt. It's been rough, guys, because my sun sign in my chart is 29 degrees of Capricorn, and my moon is 28 degrees Capricorn. And guess where Pluto has been hanging out for a while now? 29 degrees of Capricorn. Right, dancing on my head. And so if I have been missing in action a lot, you know why. Just saying, I'm doing battle with myself. Yeah, I mean, this has been huge. It's been really, really hoof. And then of course, because my rising sign is Aquarius, that means now, you know, Pluto is going to start moving across my rising. I can't wait for it to get into my first house. It's still going to be a couple of years before that though, because it's so slow. It's so slow. Aquarius is my rising, Shauna. I think at 5 degrees Aquarius. So it's gonna be a few more years before it properly gets all out of my 12th house into my first. But let me tell you, I knew it was gonna be rough. I knew it was. I knew it was gonna be tough because I saw it coming. And yes, I would say that this transit of Pluto across my 12th house has been extra. It has, like, I mean, all the stuff that's happened during that cycle. It's really a 14-15 year cycle. And yeah. Yes, Shauna, exactly. Pluto's in Aquarius till June, then it retrogrades, goes back into Capricorn until next year. So At least it already passed. Like, I feel like as it goes back, it might not be quite as harsh as it was when it was getting across that line. And the big thing to remember too about Pluto is slow but subtle power that builds over time. And so many times we feel the fullness of it when it's closer to the end of its cycle in a sign than we do at the very beginning of it, right? It's, so if people say, well, I don't feel a whole lot of shift, with Pluto just going to Aquarius, well, if you don't, that's perfectly normal actually, because most people won't feel it unless you're just super sensitive or it's hitting something, in your personal chart, in some kind of way. Then, you won't feel it right away because it takes time for that Pluto energy to build up. It's special that way. It sneaks up on you a little bit. It's like it grows, it's like a snowball. It gets bigger, gets faster, and you're like, ah! Then it's right on you, and you're like, damn, okay. But, oh yeah, the finalization of the Saturn return. That's a big one. Getting through that first Saturn return is huge. So congrats. Congrats if you've gotten through that, because that's a big one. It really is. All right, where are my Virgos at? Hello, my Virgos. I love my Virgos. Y'all are great. Y'all are special. I've got a Virgo buddy who's coming to visit me next week, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I love my Virgo folks. They are fun and funny. They have great, funny, snarky senses of humor, which is great for Capricorns. Let's get into it. Virgo, this is your full moon reading for April 6th, 2023. That is when our Libra full moon, the pink moon, will be with us. And we are in Aries season. This is the first full moon of the new astrological year. So this is going to be a past, present, future layout using both lunar and tarot cards, or lunar oracle, and the tarot to get your messages for you today. Oh yes, Virgo, coming into your own reading already, I see. All right, so in the immediate past, Virgo, I love this affirmative card because it's something that I think not only Virgos, but a lot of folks struggle with. We all do. It's, are we good enough, right? Are we good enough? And this is that positive affirmation of you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Love to see this energy. I really hope that most of my Virgos out there are seeing their worth, are feeling their goodness, and that they are good enough, and that you don't have to be perfect to be accepted, to be loved, and to be worthy. That's a big one that Virgos struggle with a lot because they are such a sign of perfectionism. They feel like they have to get it right every time in order to be worthy of things, and that's just not true. So I hope you are seeing and feeling that, Virgo, as we are coming into this full moon. Let's get a clarifier here. Yeah, and I think too, this is a boost of confidence that I likewise hope you're receiving with the masculine lunar aspect here. So it's kind of like this is the combination of the feminine, which is that lunar energy, but it's the masculine side of it. So it's bringing in those, elements of self-confidence, leadership, leading with your intuition, trusting yourself. So, Virgo, don't be afraid to trust yourself. Even if things have blown up in your face, in the past, I think this is kind of a sign to remember, look, that doesn't mean you're deficient. That doesn't mean you're stupid. That doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that sometimes you just got to listen to yourself a little bit more. It's true. I would always say that when I truly listen to myself, things go better. They do. In the center, we have got the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. And this is what's coming in with the full moon of Libra's energy. So I think a lot of the communication you're looking for, a lot of the ideas that you need or things you've been seeking are on the way to you. Like I always say, it's the answers you need, not always the answers you want. So, even if it's news or information that you don't particularly like, it's at least something that you needed for whatever it is, closure, moving on, feeling better that you finally got what you needed in the end. Doesn't always have to be an unpleasant answer either. It could be something very good as well. This is kind of neutral energy, but you will be receiving communications here, Virgo. And on top of that, we have the growth card. So I do feel that whatever communication that you receive through the energy of this full moon is going to help you to grow. It's going to help you expand, put down greater roots, maybe have a better sense of direction or where you are going as the future unfolds. So the next 30 days, as that unfolds, we do have the new moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle beginning. Interesting that this is a reading for a Libra full moon, because we've got that Libra energy unfolding throughout the whole month ahead for you until the next full moon. So I think that's quite nice. So all my single Libras out there, you may, not single Libras, sorry, Virgos. So the Libra energy. But Virgo, for all of you that are super single and have been for a while, there may be a new person coming into your life. For those of you who are, you know, not happy in a current relationship, you may either be healing it or separating from it, which opens up those new cycles as well. Let's get a clarifier on this for Virgo. Be patient, Virgo, because let me tell you, okay, wow, whether you're healing a relationship, leaving one, or coming into something new, patience will be needed and required. I think that even if it's someone or something you feel really great about, there may be certain circumstances that you've got to overcome in order to truly be together. Maybe they live in another city or state or country, etc., right? Maybe there's some reason that you can't, like, you know, see each other as much as you want to right away. That's the thing. Maybe they're going through something and they're like, I really like you, but let me get through this stuff before I'm really free and clear. So this is where you might have to play a little bit of patience in there, because it may not be completely smooth sailing right away. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means be patient. Get into your tarot. Let's deepen these messages for my Virgos, past, present, and future, please. A lot of, oh, good forward movement. Definitely feels like a romantic energy coming through in this future here for you, Virgo. So, you know, for those of you that resonate with this, I would say relationship energy is looking pretty happy. I'm going to clarify these for you too. Yeah, new beginnings in business and in love. So again, here in your past, on top of the Virgo card and the masculine lunar aspect, we have the Chariot, which is Cancer ruled. This is all about the moon and things shifting, and it's on top of it is the Strength card. So it does take courage, right? The movement forward that you're making, Virgo, does take courage. It does take initiative. You are learning a lot along the way. I really do. There's this, you know, male-female balance here going on, just like we had in this card, very much that male-female balance. And so, you know, it's a combination of, you know, leadership, confidence, but also listening to your intuition and being emotionally receptive. And that Strength card is so super Leo. So this is very much, again, both of these cards to me are about balancing our inner emotions, right? Because the lion is the symbol of our inner emotions here in this card, you know, and the woman is spirit, and that's, you know, our spirit, our higher mind, working with all the emotions that we experience as a human. So in the center, present energy, what's coming forward with the full moon. Like I said, you're really growing. You're putting down some roots. I feel like, you know, you're making good plans for the future here. You may also be enjoying a return of investment here, Virgo, with this Nine of Pentacles. And the Six of Swords also says you're ready to let go of drama. Like you're just really ready to let go of anything that hasn't been contributing to your peace of mind. And if you've been, you know, in the past, if you made, you know, bad deals or bad business alliances or anything like that, you're just like, nope, I'm not going to do that in the future. I'd rather just do this on my own than to deal with anybody that isn't good for me or, you know, just causes me a lot of stress. Going into this future, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of good energy here, especially for new beginnings in love and business, or both, right? Could be one, could be the other, could be both for you. But, you know, Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles here in the future outline. It's like, you know, this is new, sweet, loving messages, very compassionate in nature, new beginnings of something. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, which is new beginnings in career, finance, learning something, going back to school, taking a class. All very positive. I really, really like this read. Let's get an affirmation on this for you, Virgo. New moon in Leo. Yes. New moon in Leo. So it is time to shine. Don't dim your sparkle, Virgo. It's time to let yourself be seen. Don't be afraid to be sparkly. I know a lot of times, you know, Virgos tend to be very humble. They're kind of self-depreciating a lot of the time. They really are. They don't always let themselves shine as much as they should. But this is time to bring yourself out to play. Right. I hope my my lights last. Let me check their time on them and see how good they're doing. Might take it down a little bit. Just a little bit. Because the brighter they're on, the less time they last. So I'm just gonna take those down just a touch. All right, Libra, so let's get into your reading. This is for you guys. This is your special full moon. So happy full moon to you. This is actually the first full moon of the new astrological year. You know, that is when the sun has gone into Aries. And of course, Libra is the opposite of Aries. So it is your full moon on April the 6th. 2023, that is the pink moon for the pink spring flowers. So this is going to be a past, present, future layout. We're going to be using a couple of lunar oracle decks and the tarot to get your messages, to see what energies are coming in with this particular special full moon for you. Wow, okay. It's shining bright for my Libras, of course. Win-win outcome is forecast in the immediate past, the last 30 days. So full moon in Libra, I do feel like you're definitely shining. And I feel in a way that this last month has really been preparing you for the full moon that's coming this week in this sign, because you are the only person so far of the signs I've read for that has pulled the full moon in Libra. So that just is a good omen to me. It means that your life has been balancing out. You're getting what you want. The people you care about are getting what they want. Like, it's all kind of working towards a common goal that's good for everybody. And look at that. Oh my gosh, Libra. To me, this card is not particularly considered a Libra card, but it is the card of discernment. And to me, it looks a lot like those scales, right? It's that balance. It's that making sure that your choices and decisions are good and have fairness and balance for everybody. So you are being very discerning this last month about how you allocate your time. What you focus on has been very, very important for you. Coming in for the present energy of the full moon, Libra, we have the full moon in Aries. A fiery climax approaches. We are in the sun sign in Aries. So you're definitely feeling both of the vibes, the Libra and the Aries coming through. And I feel like this could be a time where something, you know, completes. Something that's very exciting is starting to come full circle. It may not happen right on the day of the full moon, but it may happen over this 30-day cycle here that we have coming up. So let's get a clarifier on this card, please. Yep, have faith, patience and faith. We have the worm moon, which is the full moon of last month. So I do feel like you've initiated quite a lot of things in the last 30 days based on these cards. And this is just taking a little time, just hang in there. One day at a time, you are getting to your plan. You're getting to your goal. This could be, literal birth. It could be birth of an idea, a project, something new that you're working to create. Could be something to do with a home very solidly, because into the immediate future, what's playing out over the next 30 days till the next full moon will be new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. And Cancer is so much about home, family, emotional stability. So it feels very positive towards that end. For some of you, you could literally be moving into a new home or working on something like that. Let's get a clarifier here for you guys. Yes. And it could be, sometimes this full moon, the wolf moon, the hunger moon, can kind of point to a time where you may feel a little bit scarce or a little bit nervous of scarcity. You may feel like, oh, I really need more money. Oh, I really need more resources. Oh, I really need more sleep. There's something that you need a little bit more of with this. I do feel that you will probably be able to get it, because this is a good feeling of, safety, security. But I don't doubt that you may have a little bit of that feeling. You might really need some rest. You might need some extra, like, me time here, Libra, because I feel like you've been working really hard. This is really like you've been doing a lot of things in a lot of different places, and, that Aries Libra energy is very dynamic and it's very active. So let's get into your tarot. We're just going to deepen these messages up in that same past, present, future layout to see a little bit more into what's going on with you. Yeah, there's just been something that's causing you a little stress. So I would say, like over the next 30 days, try to take your stress levels down. On top of the Libra full moon and the discernment card, we do have the High Priestess. And to me, she is a very discerning kind of character. The last 30 days, you may not be talking to many people. You might be a little bit more secretive, maybe a little bit more introverted, a little bit more to yourself than usual. Because to me, the High Priestess is definitely that kind of almost mysterious figure that's very introverted, very much goes within to discover the real truth or work on what's really important to her. She goes in and seeks that inner wisdom. And there it is. Yeah, I mean, you've really been going within to figure out the best plan of action for yourself, especially when it comes to your finances, future investments, or employment. That's a big one for you. Wow. Here in the present, let's get a clarifier on top of this for you, because this is very dynamic. It really is. You got a lot of firepower here. Oh, wow. Yes, you do. On top of that full moon in Aries and the faith moon, we have the Ace of Wands and the Strength card. So very strong, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and more Leo. Like I said, lots of fire. You are working very hard right now. You're putting a lot of effort and intention into this, and it's really creating a whole new life. Like Ace of Wands is those passionate, fiery new beginnings that are very spirit motivated and directed. So let's get a clarifier here. The reason that I'm saying, going into this future, we got that wolf moon, we've got this Three of Swords, and I'm going to clarify that because to me this just feels like some emotional stress or worry that might be something on your heart or on your mind, or both. Yeah, there's devil energy, and it might be because you're working too hard. I mean, to me, the devil is Capricorn, and one of the worst things that Capricorns do is they work themselves too hard, or they put too much pressure on themselves. And they feel like they have to keep every, freaking ball in the air. And so, Libra, if you start feeling like that, you might have to put something down so that you don't stress yourself out too much, because I definitely am getting that vibe. The devil was also on the bottom of the major deck. So it's kind of like there's something going on in there over the next 30 days. And to me, when I see this, it's like, the swords are the air element. That's our mind and that's our heart. Like I said, it could be on your heart and on your mind. That maybe you're working too hard. Maybe it's time to give yourself a little break, and see things with fresh eyes. Or maybe hang out with a Capricorn friend. They know what it's like to work too hard. They can tell you. Take a break with a Capricorn. You both need one. Probably so. Because the truth is, when you give yourself rest and relaxation, you will get more work done. So don't stress yourself out. I can almost feel in this future here, Libra, that you kind of have a sense that you've got to be like the main breadwinner in the home, or you've got to do all the work and it's all on you and everyone's looking to you, because Capricorn energy is a leadership thing too. And you might kind of be feeling it's like, I don't want to be the only one leading here. Capricorn and Libra are both cardinal. They're both leadership signs, and they don't mind taking on that mantle, but sometimes too much is too much, and you just have to be realistic with everyone. Let's get an affirmation on this, Libra. Wow, you are dynamic, though, right now. You really are. Look at that. Oh, yes, that's exactly what I'm feeling. Let your fears dissolve. The full moon in Cancer. Yeah, and the full moon in Cancer happens during what? Capricorn season. So I really think it's kind of fear and stress, mostly around work. And sort of your, hopes or your ambitions, because, Capricorn energy is very ambitious. So is Cancer, another cardinal sign, guys. So yeah, anywhere that you put undue pressure on yourself, like thinking you've got to do it all and be it all, that's usually why Capricorn feels stressed, because they put it all on themselves and they think they're the only one that's having to do it, when it's like, no, you can ask for help. It's okay. You can ask for help, Libra. This is a fascinating reading, but I really like it. All right. All right, guys. We're ready for Scorpio. Oh boy. Or are we? Are we ever ready for Scorpio? All right, Scorpions. Time to look alive. All right, Scorpio. Scorpio, here is your full moon reading. Happy full moon. That will be with us April 6th, 2023. That is the pink moon, named for the pink flowers of spring. It is the first full moon of the astrological new year since the sun went into Aries, and it is in the sign of Libra. So it is very aligned with our relationships of all kinds. So let's see what we've got for you. We're going to do a past, present, future layout with the lunar oracle cards and with some tarot to deepen the messages. Knew we had to have a little Aquarius energy in there, because your ruling planet, Scorpio, just moved into Aquarius. And that is a big deal, because Pluto is a very slow moving planet. It doesn't change signs frequently. It was in Capricorn for almost 15 years. It will be in Aquarius for 19 years. So we're getting a taste of it in a brand new sign. Just started on March 23rd. Starting out with the immediate past, bring more love into the situation here with the new moon in Aquarius. So Scorpio, if you've been hard on yourself, hard on others, not being kind enough to yourself, it is definitely time to bring more love and acceptance into your life's situations. I hope that you have been doing that over the last 30 days. That's probably more of a trend for you right now, because this is what is coming in for this last 30-day cycle. Let's get a clarifier on that. There it is. More love, more acceptance. Scorpio. So yeah, accepting yourself, accepting others, you know, with all their flaws, with all their foibles, and with all of yours. It's like accepting yourself and others in spite of that. I also feel a lot of connection and a lot of gratitude from the acceptance card, right? You know, it can be accepting help. Like if you're the kind of person that never likes to accept or ask for help, this could be also saying relax that a little bit. It's fine to ask for help. In the immediate present, as the full moon shifts into place, we have faith in your dreams. This is the waxing crescent moon. So to me, this is a very positive full moon for you that triggers, you know, potential growth and movement forward. Waxing cycles always bring those into play. And the next waxing cycle will start about 2 weeks from April 6th, when the full moon happens. It'll be about 2 weeks after that. So we have the assessment card on top of that. This is simply saying, take a look and see at what and where you would like to grow in your life. What dreams would you like to manifest? And maybe see things with new eyes. New eyes here. Going into the immediate future, the next 30 days, how this plays out. We have the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. We've had this card come up quite a bit for a number of our signs tonight. So I feel like if there's any communication you've been looking for or hoping for, if you want to approach somebody and talk to them, things look really positive in that direction for you there, Scorpio. And as always, I say, it's the answers we need, not always the answers we want. Sometimes the answers we get aren't necessarily what we want to hear, but they're what we need to hear. So sometimes it's more positive in our perspective. Sometimes it feels not so positive, but it's actually what we really needed, either for closure, for peace, to move on. Let's get a clarifier on this one for you. Realization coming out. So yes, I think that you are finding the key that fits this keyhole, and you perhaps are the key yourself, right? I almost feel like this communication that you get comes as a result of your initiation, not necessarily someone else's. Yeah. Or maybe there's someone that needs information or connection from you, right? You know, more than you. Maybe because Scorpios, you can go dark and you can go deep and you can get real secretive and quiet. So maybe there's been somebody like knocking on that Scorpio door, like, hey, Scorpio, let me in, and you haven't been talking to him, and it's like, you know that you need to, even if it's just to tell him to leave you alone. And there you go. There you have it. So let's get some tarot on this reading. We're just going to deepen these messages for you here, Scorpio. Yeah, there's a lot of movement coming through here. That seems to be a real strong theme tonight, actually, for all of our signs, is slowly but surely coming out of stagnation. I think a lot of that has to do with Mars too. We've had a lot of planetary shift. All right, so the last 30 days. Hold on one sec. I'm just going to clarify these for you as well. Nice. Yeah. All right, so yeah, the last 30 days, you know, Four of Pentacles, you've definitely been kind of keeping yourself to yourself. Maybe you've been a little bit afraid to open up your heart or open up your pocketbook because, you know, maybe you're scared, maybe I won't have enough money, maybe I'll get taken advantage of emotionally, so I'm going to be really careful, which is okay. But I really feel that Spirit is kind of saying, Scorpio, it really is okay to open up your heart. Don't be too afraid to move forward, because the Ace of Cups is really those big spiritual blessings. In the immediate present, we have the Sun and we have the Eight of Cups, and that is on top of your waxing full moon and the assessing card. So I do feel that there is positive movement in your life. I do feel like with this Eight of Cups, you are releasing something. There is something you're turning loose. Or maybe you're just putting something down in favor of a different path or a different way of getting where you want to go, because the Eight of Cups always kind of says, you know, this is a somewhat satisfactory situation, but it's still not exactly what you want. So you're choosing to continue the journey, right? It's a powerful moment where you kind of go, yeah, this is nice, but it's not everything that I'm really looking for, and I'm going to make sure that I move forward to better things. The Sun is a very positive card, though, so whatever that movement is, I do feel like it will be a very positive outcome, and it is good for you because the Sun is the ultimate positive card. And in the outcome here, the 30 days ahead, we have the Knight of Wands with the Five of Pentacles. So I really do feel like it's time to let go any of those fears or worries about scarcity or not having enough. Knight of Pentacles is very, you know, fast, fiery, enthusiastic. It travels forward very quickly. So I would say, of course, don't be too impetuous or too spontaneous. You know, don't spend a crazy amount of money and then be like, oh gosh, you know, I did too much. So definitely moderate your action. It doesn't mean don't move, but it means, you know, do it in a calculated, planned out way. But it is also time to try a different route. Don't stay in a place of fear or scarcity, you know, worries, because that doesn't get us anywhere. It just doesn't. All right, let's get us into a affirmation on this reading for you, Scorpio. See the bigger picture. Yes, there's some Sagittarius energy for us, for you, the full moon in Sagittarius. So, you know, see things from the big picture here, Scorpio. Don't get too, you know, caught up in the tiny minutiae and details. See the larger picture of where all of this is going. It is also, to me, a card of greater movement, because Sagittarius is a traveler. It's you know, someone that learns. It's a student of life. So to me, again, you know, this is a very common theme that seems to be coming out with a lot of these full moon readings, is that we're coming out of stagnation, coming out of a place of feeling stuck, which is quite nice. Alrighty. And speaking of Sagittarius, they are up next. Let's see if I can find their card. They didn't get lost, did they? Oh no! I don't know where my Sagittarius card is. Oh, there you are. See, they travel so much, they took off on me. The Sagittarius card literally walked over to a different area. It was like, bye, I'm bored. Okay, Sagittarius, this is your full moon reading for April 6th, 2023's full moon. That is the full moon in Libra, the pink moon, and our first full moon of the astrological new year, as the sun is now in Aries. This is a great time of year for you, Sagittarius, because the sun in Aries is one of your fellow fire signs, and it is a very positive alignment for you. So let's get into your full moon aspects. We're going to do a past, present, future layout with some lunar oracle decks and also with some tarot. Wow, okay, that card is really strong right now. That Gemini energy. It's been strong for a lot of us. Okay, so Sagittarius, immediate past the last 30 days is full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. You may have gotten a lot of information over this past month, or a lot of info that you've been processing through. It was probably something you really needed to hear or needed to know. Wow, you're dealing with a lot of this double energy. So self-reflection, which to me feels like such a Gemini card as well, even though it's not aligned with any particular sign. Last 30 days, yes, definitely. I think as well, not only have you been receiving a lot of communication, you might have also been really kind of talking to yourself or to your higher self quite a lot, because there is this self-reflection. You know, Gemini deals with the two sides of the personality, and so does this. So you might have also been getting some of those answers you needed from yourself. You might have finally arrived at some epiphanies like, wow, yeah, I really had been trying to access that, and now I feel like, you know, finally got it. The light came on, right? Right in the present, as the full moon arrives, this is the card coming through for you. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node, this is our past incarnations, past karma, past traumas, past circumstances, past lives that we're working through. So I feel like you have let go of a lot of that, and it's time to put it to the side. It's time to put all of that old energy on the back burner. It could be time to try something you haven't tried before, Sagittarius. But it's really especially time to not let any old pain, any old wounds, any old nasty circumstances to keep you from your dreams. Oof, yeah, there we go. Oh, yes, and there we have it. One of my favorite cards in this deck, the self-love card here, Sag. So don't let your past hold you back, and embrace healthy, amazing self-love and self-worth. Like I said, I really got a feeling that for a lot of you out there, like the answers that you were seeking have come from yourself, not from anyone else. Even if someone else helped you a little bit, it's like ultimately it was you that really got yourself back in that good place, and that just shouldn't stop. Like this Libra full moon is a great time, you know, to just take care of and nurture yourself. Going into the immediate future, or the next 30 days till the next full moon, we've got a new romantic cycle begins with the new moon in Libra. There's been a couple of signs that have gotten this card in this future position. So you're one of them, Sag. I would say that this card really portends either a new relationship on the horizon. It could be breaking up an old relationship that's been really rough for you, or healing a relationship that has been rough but still has great potential and great love in it. So let's get a clarifier on this one for you. Nourishment. Wow. So I would say that whatever you're choosing, or whatever is coming forward for you relationship wise, pick the one that nourishes your heart and soul the most, the one that you feel is the most mutually beneficial and energetically supportive of both parties. That's what I would say about that one. Let's get into a little bit of tarot for you. We're just going to deepen these messages. Same layout, past, present, and future. Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of love energy in this read for you guys. And I feel like, you know, wow, a lot of Gemini. Some of my Sagittarians, you might have been dealing with a Gemini, or you may have a lot of Gemini in your personal chart, because Gemini energy, the Lovers is the Gemini card. So I feel like, you know, you may have, but this last 30 days has been a lot of talking to other people, or talking to a partner, or talking to yourself, kind of talking to your higher mind. Let's clarify that Lovers card. Yeah, and I feel like what this has done for you has brought you out of stagnation. That's been the huge theme. I would really say, if I was going to ascribe a theme to this particular full moon and this time in astrological energy, I would call it coming out of stagnation, because yeah, it's really, really strong. Going into the present energy for you, Sagittarius, on top of, you know, the you know, don't let your past hold you back, the self-love, we've got the Queen of Swords. That's definitely don't let your past hold you back, because this is, you know, she is our Libra queen, right? This is our Libra full moon. Libra is all about coming into balance, and the Queen of Swords is pretty tough. Like, she will just cut you out. If you're not good for her, if you're not good for her peace of mind, if you're just there to bring a lot of chaos and trouble and problems into her life, she's like, no, out you go. And I think it's the same for you, Sag. This is going to be a time where you really choose to do what's good for yourself, and let go of the troublemakers, let go of the drama causers. Yeah, it's time. It's time to come out of that hanged man position, because I feel like, you know, there's been people and circumstances that have really kind of literally kept you hung up, you know. And if it's really not for your best, or you know it's heading nowhere, just let it go. Cut them down. Cut it down. You do have a lot of choices, you know, and in this love situation, talking about new romantic cycles beginning, for some of my Sagittarians, you may have more than one choice of potential future partner. That doesn't surprise me, because Sagittarians are very talkative, they know a lot of people, and so you might kind of be going, yeah, I really like all these folks, but which one is the best for me? Like I said, I would choose the one that nourishes you the most, body, soul, mind, and vice versa. Because some people, you know how it feels, like you're around them, and you just feel really psychically and emotionally sapped afterwards. You feel really like overly exhausted because they just sort of drained you. And it's not malicious, but some people just drain our energy, right? Whereas others really contribute to it, and vice versa. And those are the best relationships. And Nine of Swords. I would also let go of the worries about it. Don't worry about it. And also, if you find yourself having a lot of stress and anxiety over someone, they're probably not the greatest for you, especially if you don't even know them that well and they're already stressing you out. It's like, no. That's always my feeling. It's like, if you just met someone and they're already stressing you out, no. Imagine how it would be in 10 years. So let's get into an affirmation for you, Sagittarius. Yes, step into your power. First quarter moon in Aries. So yeah, don't let anyone take advantage of your good energy. Don't let anyone drain you, Sagittarius. Don't let anyone disempower you. This is a very positive time for self-love, self-communication, self-validation, and choosing, you know, the best partner. Or not, you know, you might just, a choice is definitely not to choose. Like, you might just say, I don't like any of them enough. I'm choosing myself, and that's fine too. You don't have to pick anyone if you don't want to. But I think the choices will be there for you if you want it. That's the thing. I know we're up late, but I have been up late. That's been my life lately, is late nights. Late nights. Hey, Michelle. Good to see you, sweetheart. Aw. Oh, I miss you and Spark so bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been really having it. This is the first live stream I've done in a long time. First thing I've done in a while, because I just have not had any energy. I was able to sleep pretty well last night, so I'm doing better today. But yeah, it's been a slog. I've just been dealing with extreme chronic fatigue. So yeah, it's been a thing. I'm gonna be going to some doctors soon though, and hopefully getting more info. So you're right on time for Capricorn. Yeah, you're all right on time for it. So Capricorn, here is your full moon reading. This is the April full moon that will be with us on the 6th, 2023. And hey, Hilda. The Leo reading was great. Check it out. Check it out. It was so good. Leo had a great reading. I know Hilda's my Norwegian Leo. I'm just talking to my live chat here for those rewatching this. Oh yes, and Ocean, she's a fellow Capricorn. We got a lot of goats on this channel. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. I attract my fellow goats. All right, so this April full moon, like I said, will be on April 6th, 2023 at 12:34 p.m. Eastern time, which I thought was really funny because I was like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the time that the full moon will arrive. It is the full moon in Libra. And yes, and Moonchild's my honorary goat. She is. She's my baby goat. So this is the full moon in Libra. It's the first full moon of the astrological new year since the sun started moving in the sign of Aries. So our first full moon of the year is always a Libra full moon. I find that interesting because it is very much a full moon that connects us with all partnerships, romantic ones, friendship, work, all of it. Libra rules all of our partnerships. So let's get into it, Capricorn. This is going to be past, present, future layout. So we're going to be looking at, what the energies are from the last 30 days or so since the last full moon, what's coming in for you presently with the current full moon, and then what's coming up over the next 30 days, how that will manifest itself through. Moon energy is more subconscious. It's more what's working in our inner soul, our inner desires and needs. And so that's why I always feel it's important to look at our moon energies. All right, Capricorn. And we've been through it. We're still going through it a little bit, Capricorn. We've had a lot of planetary shifting and we've been feeling it. We've been feeling it. That is for sure. Wow, everybody is getting these freaking Gemini cards. I am just kind of blown away, okay? Like, almost every sign has gotten one of the Gemini cards. Capricorn, you're no different. All right, last 30 days, the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. I think communication has been absolutely vital for the last 30 days, Capricorn. And it's not always, like I said, it says the answers you need, right? Not the answers you want, because sometimes the information or the communication you get is not something you necessarily want to hear, but you kind of need to hear it for whatever reason. So over the last 30 days or so, Capricorn, if you have found people being a lot more truthful or you being a lot more truthful, even painfully, truthful in your, communications, that is par for the course. I think it's, maybe there's been answers that you've been kind of needing and wanting, and those could also be coming full circle the next couple of days. You might actually be hearing the things that you need to hear and like finally getting the information that you've been asking for a while. So let's get a clarifier on this. Geminis are a communication sign. So I feel like communication and, interacting with each other and learning information has been very vital for all of our signs because these cards have been coming up so many times in people's readings. Yeah, something coming to big fruition for Capricorn in the realm of the mind and in the realm of communication. Absolutely huge. Confidence is key. Look at this. The key to success. New moon in Leo. So this is the card coming through with the full moon energy. So this is really what's going to be arriving and manifesting itself in your life, Capricorn. This could be newfound confidence, especially if you'd kind of been, I don't know, a little down on yourself, or maybe if you'd experienced some disappointments in the near future, or the near past, I should say. This could be saying, maybe you've taken some hits to your confidence or your self-esteem might be a little bit, I've definitely gone through it as a Capricorn. I have not been feeling the greatest, and that really can do a number on your confidence. But this is kind of saying, hey, there's some new confidence coming forward. Maybe remember how awesome you actually are, because Leos remember how awesome they are all the time. They really do. So, it's important. And it also can be a little bit of fake it till you make it. Even if you don't feel totally great about yourself, embody that energy anyway, because then, before you know it, you might find yourself feeling a whole lot better, and you're like, oh, that kind of worked. Sometimes it's like you got to build yourself up a little bit, and that's okay. Let's get into a clarifier for that one, Capricorn. And I know, like, my Capricorn girl Michelle, she's a musician like I am. She's also a performer, so we need confidence, right? Leo is a performer. We need confidence when we're doing the performance. So let's get a clarifier here. Oh, Capricorn. Yes. Okay. This is a good one. Acceptance. I would say, Capricorn, you're not always the best at accepting help or compliments. And I would say you need to do both. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it. And, you know, because Capricorns do feel like they should be able to just do it all themselves. You know, they're the tough, hardworking sign. No, I've got this. But don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to accept it, Capricorn, because that's important. That's important. And so the other thing I would say, when people tell you something nice about yourself, instead of going, I'm not that great, you know, or kind of like doing the self-effacing thing, accept it, fully accept it. Like if someone just comes up and tells you, you're so beautiful, or you're so good at what you do, or you're so awesome, or you're so this or that. You know, if you're a Leo, Leo's just like, yeah, I am. And they just drink it in. They're like, oh, you know. But Capricorns don't always do that, because we always feel like we have to work our butt off to get anything. You know, we feel real funny about accepting compliments, even if we worked for it. So this is kind of saying, you know, Capricorn, embrace the kind of confidence a Leo has. And if somebody tells you you're looking great or doing great, just be like, yeah, I am. You know, let it. That doesn't even feel right to say. But that is what we need to say. I'm like, yeah, I am. Yes, I am. That's a little better. Just got to practice it, right? Going into the future, more Gemini. I'm telling you, all our signs are getting these Gemini cards tonight. Cancer got both of them too. Capricorn's getting both of them as well. Communication is key, Capricorn. The next 30 days, look at that. Look at how that's playing out. So communication coming and going here, I would say over the next 30 days. If you don't get what you want, don't get too mad. If you didn't ask for it, you can't get it. So Capricorn, if you want or need something, don't be quiet about it. Ask for it. Say what you want. Say what you need. Talk to other people. You know, don't be afraid to pick up the phone. If you haven't talked to somebody in a while, or you haven't heard from someone in a while, reach out. This is all important. Just talking and being open. I know Capricorns, we can be so like, I don't want to talk to anybody. You know, but this is important. This is important. It's I think a big key to your success this coming month especially. Let's get into a clarifier on this. Surrender. Don't block the call, Capricorn. You know, surrender to communication. Go ahead, have the conversations, make the phone calls, take the phone calls, write the email, send the text. It's okay. Let it go, because, you know, and just because somebody says something to you doesn't mean you have to take it, right? It doesn't mean, you know, if somebody says something that doesn't ring true with you, you can just say, that's an interesting idea, but it's not for me. Thank you very much. This could also just signal that you're going to be having a lot more communication this month coming up. You might be hearing from people that really surprise you. So let's get into some tarot for you, Capricorn. We're just going to deepen these messages up. Same layout, past, present, future. I love it. Love to see it. These are good. All right, Capricorn. Yeah, it's time for balance for us, you know, and I think we've been working very hard to balance. I know I have, you know, with this Justice card here in the immediate past, the last 30 days or so, really trying to get everything, the whole life, health, work, balance going on. It's, you know, I know it's not the easiest thing to do. You know, but that has been something we've been working on quite a bit. And the Hierophant, yeah, stabilizing things. You know, both of these cards really show these figures that, you know, in my opinion, they kind of keep it together. Not just for themselves, but for other people, right? You know, the Justice card brings balance and fairness to others as well as themselves. The Hierophant's the same. You know, they bring, you know, wisdom and spiritual understanding to themselves as well as others, you know. That's a big job to have. Capricorns are often in those positions, you know, but I think that's what you've been working through. It's trying to balance yourself and also to understand your greater path or purpose, what your spiritual path or purpose is. Right in the center, present energy of that Libra full moon coming up. My goodness, we got the World card. One of Capricorn's power cards. This is ruled by Saturn, your ruling planet. So that's why the World is a power card for Capricorn. And it is the last card of the major arcana. So it symbolizes, a very strong cycle coming to an end. Yes, we had a big cycle come to an end. Pluto had been in Capricorn for almost 15 years, and it just went into Aquarius on March 23rd. So we're getting a first taste of Pluto in another sign, but that was a huge cycle change for Capricorn. This card can also symbolize that, you have really passed a test, you've come through some kind of challenge or hardship, some kind of big hurdle in life. And so I think that's, this full moon is really showing that to us, that we're, Capricorns are coming through some big cycles, big transits. But, that World card connotates a victory, even if it's a hard victory, right? It's like it's a very powerful and important one. Knight of Pentacles on top. And yeah, we've had to, wow, I can't even with this combination, because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight, but he's also the knight that has the best chance of a successful outcome, right? And slow and steady wins the race. And that's absolutely what this World card is about. Pluto, like I said, 14, 15 years in a sign, and our sign is not a fast, easy thing, right? Oh my goodness. Love to see it. I feel like this is a very strong victory for Capricorn, but I also would say don't stop, keep going, and don't be afraid to accept help. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it, because we have a lot on our plates. We really do. Going into the future on top of this communication is key. And the surrender card, we do have the Nine of Cups. So I feel like Capricorn, hang in there. You're getting closer and closer to what you want, because the 9 is not quite yet the 10, but you're going in the direction of your hopes and dreams. The 9 of Cups kind of says, don't sleep on your dreams, right? Don't stay just where you are. It's okay to keep going. It's okay to keep dreaming big. That's a very positive card. Let's get a clarifier on that, please. 2 of Pentacles, yeah. Equal balance. This is important, Capricorn. Equal balance between work and play. This is a Capricorn ruled card, and there's definitely reason for that. She was balancing those 2 coins, and Capricorns, honestly, they work too hard a lot of the time. So this is saying, even if you're working really hard, Capricorn, remember to balance it with a lot of rest, a lot of downtime, a lot of playfulness. You need it. Let's get into an affirmation for you. To summarize this reading, what is Capricorn getting out of all this energy? Look at this. You can't make it up. Full moon in Libra. We're the first ones to get this card for the full moon in Libra, so it's hitting us front and center. Find a balance, Capricorn. Look at those scales. We had the Justice card in this reading. It's all about balance, my goats. Don't work too hard, okay? That's the biggest one. Don't work too hard. Find your personal balance. If you need to ask for help, it doesn't make you lazy. It doesn't make you anything. If you need to rest, that's fine. I've gotten a lot better at that. I used to be the kind of person that would say yes to everything because I felt like I had to do it because, if I was committed or had given my word. But then I realized, I'm not hard on people if they have to change plans or cancel things or say no. So I don't need to do that to myself either, Do what's right for you. Take the time that you need to rest when you need it. And yes, embrace the confidence of Leo. They have that confidence factor, and it's important. Really good stuff. Accept the compliments and forget the insults. Let it just roll right off. It was a good reading. I needed it. I know you guys needed it. It was good. Yep. Thank you to all my goats. We got Aquarius up next. Wow, Aquarius. My goodness. So, Aquas, Pluto just went into your sign. This is a big shift for you guys. It's been 250 years since Pluto was last in Aquarius. So very fascinating times we're living in. Aquarius, this is your full moon reading. This will be the full moon in Libra on April 6th, 2023. It is the pink moon, and it is also the first full moon of our astrological new year. So very exciting to see what's going to come through. This is going to be in a past, present, future layout. So we are just going to be using some lunar oracle and the tarot to get your messages today. Very nice. There are some similarities to the Capricorn reading. Not a surprise. Not a surprise there. In the immediate past. All right, so we are doing some balancing work here, Aquarius. In the immediate past, the last 30 days, you've had the full moon in Pisces. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. So this has been a very important time for you to kind of have a bit of the reality check. Saturn is now moving in the sign of Pisces, so to me, it kind of ties right in with that. Because it's that thing about, you know, Pisces is the dreams. Capricorn and Saturn energy are the energy that helps manifest the dreams. And so you may be needing to or have been looking at what's realistic versus what is only a dream, and which dreams can I realistically manifest. So that's been a big emphasis for you the last month, Aquarius. And assessment, yeah, you've really been taking a look at that. Like, what can I actually manifest versus what is just kind of, you know, a dream that's kind of unrealistic and isn't really worth the time and the stress. Okay. In the center, Leo's coming out again, so don't let pride get in your way. This is a little bit different message from the one that Capricorn had, but it's also a Leo card, which I think is really interesting. So Aquarius, this is the energy coming through with that full moon for you. So any sense of pride or, you know, feeling better than someone else or someone feeling better than you, don't let that get in the way. Like, if you know you need to say something or do something, you know, apologize or whatever it is, don't let pride get in the way of you feeling better or getting the closure, communication, or answers that you need. It's definitely a more selfless energy. I would say most Aquarians don't always have that much like pride, but it's really letting go of any ego constructs or any ego triggers. That to me is more what this is about. So let's clarify this. Let's see what might help you a little bit out with that. You might be dealing with a Leo too, or somebody stubborn. Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, you know, another fixed sign. We've got the worm moon. So have faith, have patience, right? You're building something over time here. Could be a new project, a new idea, something that, you know, just takes some time. It is definitely a waiting game there. Going into the immediate future, the next 30 days, nothing is yet set in stone. We've got the mutable moon energy. So mutable energy is very flexible. Our mutable signs are Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Sag. They're all very flexible signs. So don't feel like anything is carved in stone. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I messed something up and now I'll never have another chance again. It's not that way. This is also a really nice energy ahead because it kind of tells you that you can rewrite things, you can fix things, you can go back and correct your work, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, and this is kind of like maybe taking a stronger leadership role, but from a very, very intuitive place. This is the masculine lunar aspect. And so, you know, even though this is the masculine energy, which is confidence, leadership, all that, this is some, you know, this is really a divine masculine who has also learned to use their intuition and their more gentle feminine side. So to me, it's kind of like the mutable moon is definitely that feminine, flexible energy. And this may be saying, yeah, you know, I can go back and sort of rewrite things or work them out to, you know, a better outcome. So that's very nice. But take the initiative with that. Let's get into your tarot here, Aquarius. We're just going to do a quick past, present, future layout, just like we did with the Lunar Oracle, just to deepen your messages up a little bit. Very nice. Yeah, there's definitely been some patience involved here. I can definitely see it because in the immediate past, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So, this has been a slow and steady wins the race kind of thing, or process where you've really been working out, dreams and what's realistic versus what is not. And maybe a dream is realistic, but it's just going to take maybe more time than you wanted it to. That's always possible as well. But the great thing about the Knight of Pentacles is he is the most successful knight. It takes him a long time to get ready and to get going, but once he gets there, he is very successful, usually has one of the best outcomes of all the knights. Yeah, and there you go. Oh, this could be the impatience that you've been feeling. Like there's something that you really want to get going. The Tower is Mars energy, and it is, it's action. To me, people focus so much on, the shifting and the change and the dramatic stuff in the Tower, which is certainly there. This is very much a card of, rebuilding a more solid foundation so it can serve you better in the future. But it's also just a card of pure action, right? Action happening, because it is Mars, and Mars is pure action. And I would say that for a lot of signs, we have been feeling kind of stuck in the mud for a while because Mars, our planet of action, has been stuck in the same sign since last August. And it finally came out of that this past week. So this is a really, really good thing. This actually starts to get it moving again. But I really feel that Mars will start to be at its most dynamic once it hits a fire sign, and that will be May 21st when it goes into Leo. So in the present energy, on top of our Leo full moon, don't let pride get in the way, the war moon of patience, growth, development. We also have the Empress, and we have both of these very mothering kind of energies. See this right here. So this could have to do with a mother figure in your life for some of you. For some of you, you're absolutely birthing a new project, a new idea, something that you're going to be very proud of. You could be nurturing something to its fullness at this time. So it takes time, right? Either of these cards, it's like something good is coming, but you can't push it. You can't rush the process. And strength. Oh, lots of Leo energy here in this present for you, Aquarius. A lot of you might be, battling back and forth with your ego versus your higher mind too. I would say that that could be a very strong thing that you're developing consciousness around, is you're like, yeah, when my ego is activated, that's when I get frustrated, annoyed, jealous, upset, sad, all those things. But when my higher mind is taking the lead, that's when I feel more calm, more enlightened, more altruistic, more generous, all those good things. So I do feel like you're feeling very emotional as this full moon happens. Actually, maybe a little bit more than a lot of the other signs. Your emotions are really coming to the surface here to be dealt with. Going into the next 30 days, Aquarius, we do have this Page of Pentacles on top of that. So this can be new investments. This could be taking a new class or learning something new. Page of Pentacles says, yeah, I have a little to invest. I'll put a little time, a little effort into that. And it's something that you do just for you. And it also might involve learning more about what's good for you and what's not good for you. Because look at that Hermit card. So yeah, page of Pentacles, right? You're kind of learning something new. And the Hermit to me is a Virgo power card, and that's why I say it could be something about health or medicine or learning. A few of you could even maybe be, studying to be a doctor or, a chiropractor, acupuncturist, something to deal with a healing modality. Nutrition would be a good one for Virgo, right? Virgo energy. So you might all my Aquarians, some of you might be doing those things. Let's get into an affirmation for you guys. There it is. Goes right along with that Hermit card we pulled. Detoxify, full moon in Taurus. Again, Taurus is steady as she goes. There's a lot of that energy in your reading. Um, you might be really dealing with a good bit of impatience, this month ahead, or just feeling like you want things to move faster than they are. But it takes time. And it takes, really dealing with your ego. We all have it. Our ego reactions can be very strong, or the ego reactions of someone else. I could see this a few ways. You could be looking at this like you might be dealing with a Leo, because they do have that ego. um, but you also might be dealing with the flip side of yourself, because the flip side of Aquarius is Leo. So you may be doing a little shadow work on yourself too, which good for you. It's not always easy to do that. What a powerful reading for you, Aquarius. I really actually liked it. It was strong. It's like, it's not halfway. All right, guys, we are down to our last sign of the night of the session. And that would be our fabulous Pisces. Woohoo! All right, Pisces, happy full moon. This is your full moon reading for the April full moon of 2023. That's going to be with us on April 6th at 12:34 p.m. Eastern Time. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is Eastern Time is when that full moon's going to arrive. It is in the balanced, harmonious, relationship-oriented sign of Libra, and it is our first full moon of the astrological new year. Let's get into it. Past, present, future layout, please, for Pisces around the full moon cycle. So those are going to be, 30 days past, present energy, 30 days out into the future. Yes, 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 yes. Let's get one more here in the center too. And you'll see why I did that in just a little bit. All right, Pisces. In the immediate past, the last 30 days, we have the new moon in Scorpio working through some fears. And oh boy, I think this last 30 days or so, this last month, I mean, I almost am a Pisces. I've got so much Pisces influence in my chart. And I definitely can resonate with this one. You've been working through a lot of deep stuff. I almost have felt like it's almost like been a dark night of the soul. And Pisces, you might have been feeling a little of this too. I bet you have. Because to me, that's what that feels like. It's just fears of like, am I good enough? Am I ever going to get ahead? Am I ever going to get things done? All that stuff, all those psychological corridors and dark hallways, coming up. And I think that it's been really important to kind of air those out and release them, because what hides in the dark, right? It's like if you put some light on it, it can't really fester and grow. So good thing if anybody that's been kind of going through that, releasing it, talking about it, counseling, journaling about it. I've been doing all those things. But for you, Pisces, that's a really good energy. It's good to work through that stuff so it doesn't build up. Yes, and here we go, surrender. It's kind of like speak it out and then let it go, right? Acknowledge what you're afraid of, acknowledge the thing that's getting to you, and then just surrender. Just let it go. Don't let it have power over you. That's a great couple of cards. So here in the center, the reason I pulled you two is because the first card was our void of course moon, nothing will come of the situation. And so there's two sides to this one. To me, this kind of says whatever you've been worried about, it's not going to come to fruition, right? Or if you've got something that you think is like big and amazing, don't invest maybe too much, because it may not be a thing that you really want. It might not have a return of energy the way you want. But on top of that, I pulled a second one because that is the void of course moon card. So we do have the gibbous moon. You're very close to achieving your goal. So my feeling with this, as this present energy of the full moon comes through for you, Pisces, you might be releasing something that seemed to have a lot of promise, but in the long run really didn't. Or you'll just say, you know what, the thing I was so worried about really wasn't a big deal. I'm going to release that because something better is coming. That's just how I feel about it. Something better is coming, right? Let's get a clarifier on these. Yeah, definitely felt both of those coming through for you. And of course, it's an emotional time. Pisces always feels the full moons very strong as you feel everything. So the supermoon is there. Full supermoon of attraction, right? Your emotions, your feelings, everything's closer to the surface, right? So that goes for anything good or bad. Let your fears and worries go. That's a time to surrender and release them. Because the things that you focus on is what you definitely draw more of you to, especially at this time. So remembering, it's like, even if things aren't the greatest right now, there's good things ahead. There's good things coming up. And there we go. Into the immediate future, the next 30 days, what do you need to release? We've got the waning moon, and we do have some things to release here, Pisces. Anything that you have looked at, anything that you have revealed through your soul searching this past 30 days, this is what it's time to surrender. This is what it's time to let go of. Even if it's been really painful, you know, it's not easy. I'll be the first to say it is not easy to always release old painful memories, old difficult things that we've been through. But the more you can do that, the better it'll feel. And you can do it however you like, right? Whether it's talking to someone, writing it down, writing a song, that's a good Pisces thing, writing a poem, right? Painting a picture, whatever it is that you need to do to release that old energy and baggage. Yeah, and come into your own, because look, as you release that, we've got the flower moon, the blossoming. And, you know, I've had there's different astrologers and readers I listen to, and overall I do get the feeling that May is going to be a good month for Pisces. I get a vibe that it will be. And this is the full moon of May. So I just feel like as you release it and we move into the month of May, you're going to feel a lot more grounded, a lot more stable. I'm not going to say everything's going to be perfect because that's not realistic, but, you know, I think you feel a lot better. You know, May energy, Taurus vibes, that's a very stabilizing energy for Pisces. So let's get into some tarot for you guys. We're just going to do the same layout, past, present, future with these. Just going to deepen these messages up for you a little bit. There's that tower. We knew he was in there. And to me, this one is very self-explanatory and actually extremely positive. Let me clarify these cards for you real quick here. Wow. Okay, so Pisces, Tower card in the past. Yes, I feel like, you know, you're really seeing the things and feeling the things that, you know, have led to you feeling unstable or led to you having a lack of trust in people. And I feel like all of that really has been what's getting triggered and what's been rocking for you. And there we have this Eight of Pentacles. So I do feel like you're working through it very actively, which is very positive. It really makes me happy to see this, because I feel like, you know, this is someone who is learning from the past, who has, you know, starting to transcend it and is actually turning the things that they've experienced into something productive and sometimes even profitable. It's bizarre, but, you know, it's kind of like, you know, using those feelings and those experiences of the past is actually helping you to move forward because you're choosing to do that with it. Wow. So on here, yeah. Yeah, no, these have not been easy cycles for you guys. And I know this, I think this full moon is going to be real emotional for Pisces. I really do. So I'm getting ready. I'm personally getting ready because I got a lot of Pisces in my chart. So, Nine of Wands, um, clarified by the Ten of Swords. So to me, I think this is very positive overall because I feel like with the Nine of Wands, there's been a long fight, a long struggle. You've been protecting yourself, protecting others, you know, fighting to keep what's yours, all of that kind of thing, fighting for your energy, and you're tired. Like, you're just tired. I know I've been exhausted, right? And so I feel like with the Ten of Swords, you know, part of that vigilance or hypervigilance has been, you know, as a result of having been betrayed or let down in the past. So that's really a thing. But the tens are always ends of cycles. They're a completion. So I really feel like, you know, these old cycles of pain and agony, you know, have been, you know, they've really been tough, but they are coming to an end with this. And along with that is that hypervigilance that you've been having to embody, right? That I feel is very, very strong there. So going into the future for you, Pisces, look at that. We got two knights. So we're definitely moving forward. We definitely are moving forward. Knight of Wands, which is probably one of my least favorite knights, really, and my Knight of Pentacles, which is my favorite knight. So my feeling about this is to balance and moderate your energy levels, Pisces, because Knight of Wands wants to do everything all the time, all at once. It's like, oh my goodness, it's the Sagittarius energy. It's the world traveler. They're very restless. It's a restless energy. And you may feel that, especially going into next month. Like, I gotta go, 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 go. And, you know, Knight of Pentacles is saying, slow down, honey. You forgot to pack your bags. You didn't bring enough water. If you don't have a snack, you're going to get hungry and it's not going to work out. So I do feel like the good thing to take away from the Knight of Wands is the passion, right? It's the drive to want to go have the adventure. But when it comes to the planning, embody this Knight of Pentacles a little more because he's the one that can actually get you there. Knight of Wands gets excited, starts out on a half tank of gas, and, you know, it's how it goes. But if you can bring them two together, then not only will you have the excitement to get started, but you'll have the good planning to actually get there. So there's the perfect balance. Let's get into an affirmation, Pisces. Don't be surprised, though, if you're kind of emotionally, like, vomiting around the full moon. Around the 6th and 7th, watch out. You might really be letting some people have it. Or you might really be crying it out or yelling it out. I feel like it's going to be a very emotional full moon for Pisces. Yeah. It's going to be high to the surface. Aha, yes, this is it. First quarter moon in Taurus, release control. So Pisces, yes, you had that surrender card. Absolutely. You know, I don't think Pisces being a super controlling sign, but I do think that sometimes we can all be controlling when it comes to kind of holding on to things real tight. And this is just saying it's time to release it. It's time to return negative energy back to the sender. You know, we can't control what other people say or do. We can only control our reactions. And I think that that's it too. Like, you know, putting that control where we can only, yes, Moonchild. She says, please seek medical help if you are physically vomiting during the full moon. Yes. If it's not metaphorical, definitely go get some help. Ooh, I liked what was on the bottom of the deck for Pisces too, was unleash your kindest self. Wow. We'll see. We'll see what happens there, won't we, Pisces? Kill them with kindness, right? Oh my goodness. I just feel like, for any Pisces, we get anybody that's got a lot of Pisces influence, we get messed with a lot, you know, and we want to believe the best in people, and then when they let us down, we're like, and then we have a hard time believing it because we want to believe the best. So yeah, that's pretty funny. I've never been a real vengeful person, because I feel like, I just feel like the universe will work it all out, and who should they call? Let's see. She says, who should they call if they start turning into a werewolf? Probably Ghostbusters. Yeah, I mean, Pisces they put up with a lot, but I think that, you know, the hardest thing for them to do, because we have such a romantic sensibility, and I'm not necessarily talking about romantic love. I'm talking about romanticizing the past. Even if someone wasn't very nice to us, we still have a rose-colored glasses thing where we'll kind of look back and go, oh, but there were nice things about it. And we can be very forgiving, and that's why a lot of times we stay with people or take people back that don't deserve it. Yeah. So yeah, to me, Pisces, this is a strengthening of yourself because Saturn has just gone into your sign. Saturn will be in Pisces for about 2.5 years. And so to me, this is a strengthening of Pisces. You're going through a galvanization process, even if you've been through it before. Anybody that's past 58, 59 years old has probably experienced this, being maybe their second experience of Saturn and Pisces. But if you've experienced, well, no, let's see. Yeah, that would be because it comes around every 28 to 30 years. But for any Pisces person or person with Pisces planets, this is definitely a galvanization. It's a strengthening. It's a toughening up. It's kind of like, because Saturn is always going to teach us some usually hard lessons. And this is definitely going to be about placing hefty, solid, healthy boundaries, doing what's right for you and not putting up with anybody's BS. I think that's really, so much what it's about. Let me see the exact date that started. It was really not long ago at all. It was, I'm thinking, just a few weeks, maybe a month. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. It's been about almost a month since Saturn went into Pisces. So it's definitely a strengthening thing. I talked about it a little bit more too earlier when I was doing the astrology review, so you might want to hear more about it. But yeah, for Pisces people, this is definitely a time where they're getting a lot stronger. They're not going to feel quite as malleable or flexible or accepting as they usually do. And I think that that's actually a good thing because Pisces usually tend to be too much of those things. So this is certainly a time in the planets when Pisces is saying, if someone treated me bad before, I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm going to really be firm about my boundaries. Even if it means being alone for a while, it's better than being with someone abusive or in a bad situation. This is a time when they toughen up. They just get stronger and they demand better because Saturn always does. It's also a great time for Pisces to manifest their dreams because Pisces is all about the dreams and Saturn is all about the manifestation. It's kind of like, well, you can have the dream and that's great, but can you make something out of it? Can you, physically, tangibly manifest it? So I think this is a good time for Pisces. I think that it's a powerful time. People around them might be kind of going, wow, what's up with that? Like, they used to just let me walk all over them and they're not a doormat anymore. What happened? So that's, I think, something that's really going to be surprising for people that have known a Pisces for a long time. They're going to be like, oh my goodness, she's, or he is not playing anymore. Yeah. All right, my darlings, well, have a beautiful full moon. I hope it's enjoyable for you. Do something good for yourself. Nurture yourself. Fix your favorite food, whatever it is, that good lunar energy. And I'll be seeing you all soon, I hope. And for those of you who are interested in reading along with me, Soon I will be starting to read this book and posting the videos for each chapter of Jan Spiller's Astrology for the Soul. It is an excellent book, and we're going to read it together. It's all about North and South Node astrology, which is super, super fun. It'll help you understand and learn a lot more about how those South and North nodes work in your life as well as the lives of others. So great to see Moonchild back. What a treat. As well as all of you. As always, please do hit the like button on your way out. I do accept donations at any of the links below. And I will see y'all soon. Take care and have a fabulous evening. Bye for now.